Some on my face.
That was the first thing said in the entire episode. So, God damn it! This is what they did to me in my last show every week.
Iconic.
Like literally 1 second before I'd be like, "We're going live," they would say some crazy shit to me, and I'm having traumatic flashbacks.
Brad, why did you turn the mics on at 1 instead of at 3? And
Because
wouldn't get these
I
weird
count you
comments,
down
right?
from 3, and then 2 and 1 are silent, so that nothing gets caught when I do unmute it. It's called roleplay, or what was it Orcish said to us that time? It's called look, I'm just gonna restart us. Okay, we're going live in 5, 4, 3.
Hey, did you see the Jim Carrey thing?
Everything in this entire episode's DC just went up by 5. Hi everybody, welcome to The Lost Second. It wasn't how I was going to start the episode. But welcome in. We are going to pick up from where we left off last week. The crew here, the party, encountered... they came back from the future. They didn't come back from the future. They landed in the future.
We're still
And
there.
an hour in the future, they discovered Alden. Also, my music's not working. What did I tell you, PB? It's happening. It's happening. It's happened to Whack on his premiere last night.
Yeah, he thought I was going to have some tech issues.
Yeah, I knew it. It did a thing before it started, and I was like, this is not going to work out for me. So yeah, the previous session, you guys were sort of sent an hour into the future.
2.
Nope.
I thought you said 2 hours.
1 hour into the future.
Good to know.
Okay. The effects of the lost second activating at the end of the previous session's combat with the assassins. You did a little sort of scout of Alden's place. It looked like it had been turned over by said assassins. Brula went into the street and did a quick perception check and rolled very low. I can't remember what the number was, but it was low enough that she didn't see this assassin that we'll get to in a second. And then you guys went back inside and discovered the body of Alden. And he had been killed. You looked over, and did a sort of an autopsy. You did a quick rummage around the room to see if you could find anything else. You found a couple of items. And then you went outside. You asked some of the local shopkeepers if they had seen anything. They didn't really see much. And then you decided on a course of action, which was to go to the assembly who had given you this quest to sort of see what they can do about this or to report this. You, on your journey, picked up on the fact that you had a tail. There was somebody that was following you through the streets. You split the group with Tooth and Alinis kind of sticking around on the lower ground floor of the marketplace, and the other two doing a sort of a trip around the block, and then spotting this follower that you'd picked up, and it seemed to be one of the assassins, dressed very similarly, though they had their faces covered. This individual didn't. Sitting on a roof, 2 of them jumped up on the roof, or made their way up onto the roof, and sort of confronted this assassin with the assassin launching a couple of knives out at you guys, leaping off of the roof, and pretty much I guess that's where we'll pick up, because we see Tooth and Alinis on the ground floor here of the sort of a market square in the upper city of Runenstein, middle of the day. It is precisely 3:15, and I think from Tooth and Alinis' perspective here, you look up and you just suddenly see Brula and Rio, I guess, appear practically from an invisibility spell. And they chase an assassin off of the roof of this market square. The assassin leaps off onto a nearby market stall. It's like a 20-foot, 30-foot drop, but he does a sort of expert drop onto a nearby stall. The stall collapses under its own weight. The canopy breaks his fall, and he rolls kind of elegantly off of this thing and expertly into the market, with like a crowd of people kind of moving away from him. Behind him, there is a ripping and tearing sound as Rio uses a sort of enormous tapestry on the side of one of these buildings as a sort of improvised abseil, quickly descending to street level. Stumbling forwards, he opens his hand, casts a suggestion spell on the assailant. He says the word "surrender, tell us why you killed Alden, then confess everything in front of the assembly." But something we wanted to get to here was, what does this spell actually look like as you cast it under the sort of the bright sun of the day? Previously we had seen you cast a spell, but the others hadn't, and it was in this like cramped quarters of Alden's home with all this darkness spell around. But this time I think we're all curious to see how this looks from Rio, the fighter, the Fighters Guild.
Yes, Rio, the fighter, who has explicitly complained that he doesn't know any magic before. I think you'd see one hand go up, and from that hand, what appears to be smoke. It looks like just smoke coming off the hand, and it materializes in the air and makes kind of a pair of lips that do the talking instead, because suggestion is I'm giving him an order, but it's not me talking. It's this other voice appears, and you can hear me incanting the spell and saying Obadir Veliaram Easpati, and then this other voice does the talking, and then it gives the surrender, confess everything line, which and two important words at the very end that you left off: confess everything in front of the assembly and guards.
And guards, yeah, that's right. You said
because I didn't
guards.
want. You said the city watch is walking this way, I don't want this guy to refuse to cooperate with them too.
Yeah. There's like and on the point of guards, there is a group of guards moving across the square, and I think it isn't really until Rio is like falling down the side of this building that they fully engage with what's happening, and they start moving across the square. They're a little bit away from you at this point. However, there is a crowd of people, and there are people that are in the market. There's a couple of people near the collapsed market stall. There's a couple of people where Rio landed, and they all kind of start moving away. That sense of something's happening, and some people just stop and turn and look, but most people start to just slowly disperse and get the hell out of there. They start moving away and kind of clearing the area naturally. The hooded figure, after you cast this spell, this kind of strange, eerie second voice is kind of heard coming from Rio, but not, it doesn't appear to be Rio speaking, commands this figure to surrender. I think you guys are all close. Well, Brula's still up on the roof, so you'll have to figure that out in a second. But the three of you that are down here are close enough to see this person. Brula, you saw them on the roof. They're a young human man, early 20s, very young looking. Most of his body is covered in this set of very close-fitting black wraps, exactly the same as they were all dressed. All of the assailants were dressed similarly. It's not quite a uniform, but it is extremely close. Like, they're all clearly dressed the same way in these simple black wraps. No sigils, no symbols or anything like that. He does that sort of superhero landing, and as he's getting up, this spell kind of strikes him, or seems to. It doesn't like. It settles on him as an enchantment. His eyes, as he's sort of stumbling forward and about to take off running again, turn milky white as the spell takes hold, and then they settle into a deep grey entirely across his eyes. He stops, and you can see him fighting against it for a moment, and then just falls to his knees, hands up, almost shocked, kind of looking at his own hands, and then he begins speaking. He says, "No, I didn't kill Alden. Lancelin did, on Nisus's orders." He grabs his own mouth and says, "We were searching for the device. Alden told us it was impossible to find, and it wouldn't explain why." He tightens it down on his own mouth, and then you see him kind of biting down on his own hand, blood pouring across his hands and down his arms. He's crunching down, but he can't stop his mouth from opening and closing as he says, "He was smiling the whole time, and Nisus got frustrated, so Lancelin lost control." And then he lets go. The milkiness of his eyes doesn't disappear. The enchantment is still upon him, but he holds his hands up. From the other side of the square, however, the City Watch are moving across to you at this point. You hear, "Halt! In the name of the council, halt! Hands where we can see them." And they seem to be directing that towards you, Rio, as they're moving across. Tooth, Alinis, you seem to be completely under the radar here. Brula, you're up on the roof. You're not invisible anymore, right? You did something.
Right. Yes.
In that case, yeah, you witnessed that these guards, a couple of them are pointing up at you as they're moving across the way as well. And just so that you're aware, this isn't just living humanoid people. There are a handful of guards carrying weapons, short swords. There seems to be like a captain that has a slightly different uniform on as he's moving across the way, but there are two Vianthracite kind of clockwork soldiers that are moving behind them as well, these hulking things that are moving behind them across the square as well. They start moving pretty swiftly towards you, and it's at this point I ask everyone what they're doing.
Are they moving towards Rio?
Sorry, what? Who's doing what?
Are they moving towards Rio?
They appear to be moving towards the assassin, Rio, and Brula. And in terms of where you guys are, we have the map from last week. I ended the combat, even though if you want to return to it, we can. We'll probably have to roll initiative again. But you have Brula on top of a building about 30 feet up. Rio on the opposite side of the building, and like 10-15 feet ahead of Rio is this assassin on the ground, just still struggling and trying to move, with you guys on the other side of the street, another 25-30 feet away from them. All three of the guards are heading down from, I tell you what, I will throw in one of these guys just so that you have someone look at here. But they are they're moving down from the other side of the street, kind of over here somewhere. There we go. They're about there. Maybe about, let's see, 50 feet away from you guys, your south side. Who's doing what in this moment?
I'm hiding.
I will, I don't think I ever actually drew my weapon, because I wasn't really planning on fighting the guy. I was going to try to mind control him from the start, but since the guards are coming at me and I already figured I was probably going to get arrested or at least detained for this, I'll just, like, you know, drop the hammer on the ground and just put my hands up calmly.
Okay.
And I'll wait till they get a little closer rather than yelling across the city street at them. I'm just standing there next to the guy.
I will move up immediately next to Rio.
Okay. Yeah.
Brula will look for a way down, but where are the guards? Are they also marching towards Brula and they've seen her?
Yeah, they're down the street. They're pretty much coming from where you ran over to the building from, about 50 feet away from you on the street, directly opposite where you are.
Ooh. Okay. Brula starts looking for a way down, and you see her kind of panic shuffle on the roof, just like looking this way and that way and that way, and like, oh.
Make me
Brula, just come down. It's okay.
Make me a perception check. Let's see if there's an easy way down.
All right, let me make perception.
This music
Just a
is
regular
so-
perception check, right? It's not like a saving throw or anything.
Yeah.
Very into it.
14.
14. There's no really easy way down from up here because you're on the roof, true, rather than kind of, if you were in the building, there might be a balcony or something, but there really isn't an obvious way up based on the way that these buildings are made. They don't really have like standard chimneys and stuff either. They don't, and the buildings aren't, some of them have ladders and things and access points, but there isn't a really obvious way down for you here on this building. You are literally on the roof, standing on tiles and kind of just stuck up there, unless you can figure out how you can
You see
climb down.
Brula
Assassin's
just kind
Creed
of
style.
running around like, I'll be right down, and looking in like, under boxes and crates, like maybe there's a trapdoor here. No, maybe not here. No, there's a door over here, a ladder over here. And you see her wave her arms like, I don't know how to get down.
Okay.
I lean into Rio and go, you told us that you should do the talking. Should I just... And I stand. Like, I don't know what to do, Rio.
I think
It might be best for you to just not get involved unless you have to. I might be able to talk my way out of it.
Okay, and can I just, like, put my hand very, very sort of stealthily on his arm and cast guidance in case he needs it?
yeah, roll me a sleight of hand check.
Oh, that's... Okay. That's a 3.
And you're aiding and abetting a criminal.
I think a few moments later, I mean, these guards swarm you. There's like 8 or 9 of them, plus the 2 big clockwork soldiers. Yeah.
Did you need me to roll to hide, or am I good?
Oh, I was just assuming if you didn't say you were doing anything, unless you,
I did say I was hiding.
Yeah, roll me a stealth check.
Okay.
There's people around. Like you're just
I know.
I
I want to take
a passerby right
I want
now.
to take the hide action. I'm fucking hiding.
They
I
don't
wanna
appear
hide.
to have noticed you whatsoever.
Okay, that's
But
fine.
you can
I
roll a
wanna
stealth check anyway.
Yeah, I want to definitely hide. That was an adorable cat I just heard. 21.
Okay. The guards
Thank you.
surround you, Rio, Alinis, and the assassin here. They sort of take no quarter here for it. With you, Rio, they grab your arms and they bring them down behind you, and you can hear the sound of manacles being pulled out by one of the guards.
Can I start talking to them when they get within? I mean, they're probably going to do this anyway, but can I try to at least address them when they come within earshot so I'm not yelling anymore?
Yep.
I'm just going to say, we're on council business. That man's wanted for murder.
Everyone's on council business, and they grab your arms at this point, and they say, "Just stay still for a second. We'll get a measure of it." You hear the sound of manacles. You feel them clasp at your wrists. You hear another one behind you say, "This one's a caster." And Alinis, one of the guards, comes over to you and says, "You with him?"
I am, yes.
Grabs your hands. Manacles.
I don't struggle, but I'm not pleased.
They put you into manacles as well, and they do the same with the assassin, who is like gobsmacked. His face is just horrified. He can't believe
As they're walking over to the assassin, I want to turn to the assassin and say, "Keep going. Confess to the guards was part of it. Obey her orders."
You hear him sort of while he's struggling with the guard saying, I didn't kill Alden." And then the guards, the kind of the guard captain that was walking over says, "Don't worry, I heard everything that he said." And then it stops him in his tracks as the spell kind of, that part of it being completed. He shakes his head. His eyes are still milky and grey, though. The enchantment lasts like 8 hours, I think. On the roof, Brula, they say, "Get down from there now!"
And Brula's watching her friends be handcuffed. Is there any like Assassin's Creed style hay bale that maybe like Brula can flip over into? Can I roll for it?
You can
I don't
attempt
think I can
to
use
do.
Misty Step again because I checked.
Okay. Let me have a look at your sheet just to
I
double
don't
check.
believe because when you.
Could I use Merple to assist in some way?
Oh my god.
I mean, it's only
Brula?
Murple's
I
only
think
got
you're more than 10 pounds or however
Yeah,
much I
and
can
also-
carry, but I could do like a rope or something.
I think you only have 30 feet of
Oh,
range on
okay,
Murple. Not you, Murple.
Oh, okay.
You
Don't think so, actually. I think it's a little bit.
you
longer.
could cast Misty Step again. Wait, I forget what it's like to be a player. When you block them out, you've used them.
Yes.
Oh, your spell slot. So sorry.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you can't do Misty Step again.
Yeah.
You see the guards on the ground sort of reaching for weapons here as they you just are not coming down from the roof. Two of them grab at very small looking crossbows and they begin to aim them up at the roof. She ain't coming down.
Whoa.
I don't think she can get down.
Brula leaves their line of vision and tries to go to the other part of the roof.
Stay where we can see ya! And they start moving around.
She can't. She can't get off the roof.
How did she get
If
up
one
there?
of you wants to go up there and retrieve her, that's fine, but you won't be shooting her.
And you hear Brula like, yeah, that'd be fine.
They kind of try and follow you around the alleyway. They're all kind of split up at this point. What are you attempting to do?
I think there's probably a method of desperation. And Brula looks for anything that is next to the building that she can drop down onto.
You could
No matter the
attempt
cost.
to
The
do.
same tapestry that I used.
You could attempt to either do what Rio did, which was just like slide down on a tapestry and abseil down it, or you can jump onto one of the market stall canopies, what the assassin did.
Yep, it's gonna be a market stall canopy, Brad. Let's
Okay.
do that.
You have bear in mind you have to roll very high for this. So this is a dexterity saving throw as you leap off onto one of the canopies.
Dex saving throw. Got it. Okay. Brula sees this like quilted looking canopy and it seems like it's also being operated by somebody. There's definitely someone at this stall. Well, no time like now. And she jumps. And I am rolling. 23.
You do it. This is unbelievable. The DC was 20. The DC on that was 20. It was for the assassin and it is for you as well.
Oh my god.
I mean, you hear the guards go, "No, wait!" and then you jump off of this thing. What does this look like?
Brula's hair just kind of for a little bit, and it's a very fast thing because obviously falling is quite fast, but you just see a dwarf just leap off the edge of the building, kind of in midair, turn a little bit and land on her side onto this stall, which goes and just a fuck ton of dust erupts from the top. You hear the vendor go, "Hey!" and there's a person there obviously selling to go, is that a dwarf? And Brula's just rolling around on the top like
Fruit
and some dust in her eyes. And it's like a charcoal vendor, so now her face is just covered in soot for some reason.
Yeah, the vendor is
she rolls
freaking
off
out.
the top. Yeah, exactly. She rolls off the top. Sorry, and then bursts into a run.
Oh, you're running?
Yes. But running around the building to try and circumnavigate
Towards the
back
guards.
to her friends. Yes.
Okay, they say, stop where you are! They've targeted you with, like, weapons here. The guards. They see you. They followed you
guards.
around the building. Yeah.
Oh, damn it.
A few of them were tracking you.
Okay, then she stands up, holds up her hands. Okay, I'm down.
They bundle you and they manacle you as well. You are all brought to a different side of the building. They sort of just drag you around and away from the main market square. One of the guards stays behind to speak with the market vendors. The market vendors are like, "They've destroyed my stall. What am I supposed to do about this?" "We're going to get to the bottom of this, sir. Don't worry about it. Let us question them and see what's going on. We'll come back." And they kind of you hear that as they move you each around the building and away from the main market square. They bring you down to, it's not really an alleyway, but it's an edge that is not an unused road, I suppose. And they line each of you up. The the guard captain, who's a kind of younger looking elf, he looks to be in his sort of 30s or something like that. Blonde hair, very straight, long, very sharp features, kind eyes, but sort of frustrated with whatever is happening here at the moment. Lines each of you up and then says, right, who wants to explain precisely what's going on here?
With your leave, Captain, I can summarize.
Very well.
We were tasked with visiting, we were tasked by the council with visiting a man in your industrial district, the Tinker's Quarter, by the name of Alden. When we arrived, we found him murdered by men wearing those uniforms, and I'm going to nod towards the assassin and say, and we caught this one fleeing. He must know who did it, and he must know why.
And you are tasked by whom at what level?
We were tasked directly by the assembly, sir.
And your adventurers?
That's
Correct.
right.
Mm-hmm.
You appear to be a shield maiden.
Former.
Former, right. And you? Anything to say for yourself? The young sort of assassin on the end says nothing. Bloodied lips where he'd bitten his own lips, kind of swelling a little bit, blood running down his chin, across his hands. Well, I guess his hands are clasped behind his back. He just looks up at the city watchman and spits at his boots, a glob of blood and spittle. And the captain says, Ren, take him over there away from these three. Keep an eye on him. He looks
And
back.
take care that his companions don't kill him to silence him either.
Where are his companions? And they start
We
looking
don't
up
know.
at the roofs. He looks back to you and says, if we look through your pockets, you'll have documentation.
I'm trying to think back. Did the assembly officially sign us to this task?
Yeah, you.
Yeah.
I think
so
they
you,
did sign off on our books, right?
Yeah, each
Yeah.
of you has.
Yeah, they did.
You have an adventuring license as well.
Right.
That would verify who you are in a very rudimentary way.
Right. I remember we got signed off on all of our other quests leading up to this point. I just can't remember. I think
Yeah,
you
did.
said after the interviews, each of us got like a signature
Yeah.
from our interviewer, right? In that case, I'd say, yes, sir. In our licenses.
He points to a few of the guards and they start rummaging through your pockets and pulling things out. They place them away from you, but like they're not throwing them about or anything. They just kind of throw all the different things down. I can't remember who has what. None of you have the lost second, right? That is on
No.
Tooth.
I do. Yeah. it's me.
They take each of the
Which
things
is
out.
why
They
I'm
move your
hiding.
weapons away from you. And as they start looking through the documentation, the guard captain says, which of you are casters?
I can cast
Well.
magic.
Okay,
I think all of us know at least some magic.
Yeah.
right.
I look at Rio.
I was just gonna say, I'm hiding and watching all of this, and I would just like to say when he says, who are the casters, and Rio's like, I think all of us can cast some magic. I think we see Tooth narrow my eyes for a second, like, yeah, but
I said
Sir.
some magic.
The guard captain says, if any of you even try and cast a simple spell, there'll be trouble. You understand?
Understood.
He waits a few moments while the guards look through your documentation. Each of them brings the book over to him and he looks at it, seems to read a page. He has a quick glance at some of the other pages as well, sort of just authenticating that you are who you say you are. It's not just a false book. He places each of the books down with your stuff. He says, okay, one of you cast a spell on this individual, and he began confessing to killing
Aye, sir.
this tinkerer.
Aye, sir, that was me.
Well, good work then, I suppose. Give me a moment. I'm going to go have a word with him, and don't try anything. When I return, you may well be free to go. And
The spell won't end until he confesses in front of the council. That was the last word I spoke. So he should still be charmed.
Right. He turns around and heads over. You see them, a few of them gather around. One of the clockwork soldier things is standing near you. It kind of just looks like a big skeleton almost, of dark metals and steel. At the center of the construct, there is a very simplistic looking vianthrosite device that is kind of embedded in the chest. The heads of these things are like very small and kind of square, and it's carrying a very large looking glaive or spear. It is just standing completely still near you, as well as two other guards who are kind of muttering to themselves as the guard captain kind of moves away, and you see them begin sort of interrogating or speaking with the assassin. Tooth, where are you?
I'm hiding.
How close are you?
But, 30 feet or so, I guess.
Okay.
I'd like to keep them in my sights and follow them and not, I just don't want to get arrested with the lost second.
Yeah.
But I don't want to lose sight of them either.
Okay. No one, like, there's quite a lot of people here. It's a busy upper market area. Lots of noble people moving around, and it's quite easy for you to maneuver between the crowds and get lost in it. None of these guards appear to be paying you attention at all. A couple of them are looking up at the rooftops every now and then and kind of like muttering to themselves. The guard captain is speaking with the manacled assassin for a while, but you get the sense that the assassin isn't really saying anything back to him. Yeah.
Could we just say that I want to stay within close range of maybe the guards to hear what if they're talking about what's happened, and also I'm nervous that other assassins might come, so I want to be on high alert, but I am hiding because we made a promise that I wasn't going to go in there with the lost second, so I'm going to stay out here, but if they're in there too long, we might need to do a breakout.
Okay.
Just so we're on the same page.
The guards are sort of muttering to themselves, like, and it just seems a little bit like another day for them, you know? Just a sort of, this trouble every single day.
Yeah.
More and more trouble with these sorts. You hear another one say, I think they're adventurers, so I suppose they're probably okay. Yeah, depends. How much do they want to line their pockets? Then you see the guard captain make his way back over towards the three cuffed characters. He moves back and says, did he mention anything to you about why what he was after, what he was doing, why he would kill this person?
He did mutter something about where is it, and he won't tell us, and apparently they got frustrated and killed him. They were looking for something.
What was the device?
He didn't say.
Well, you must know. Isn't this what you're tasked to?
We were told to go find the Tinkerer.
Right. And you did?
We did, but not in time.
And he was dead when you arrived?
He was attacked as we got there.
And you pursued this attacker through the streets?
We were on our way back here to report it, and we caught this guy tailing us. We're not sure what they're up to.
Where is this Tinkerer's home?
I'll give them Alden's address.
Okay. He kind of takes gives you a little look. I'm gonna roll an insight check for him right now. See how much he...
That was crazy. You didn't lie once.
He says...
Can I also insight check him back? Because the first thing he
Inside
said
off.
when he walked, the first thing he said when he walked up was something to the tune of, "Oh, don't worry, I heard everything." But he was standing far enough away, and the guy was muffled. So
I'm with you. I think this is one of
Me
the
too.
assassins.
yeah, so
I
I'm
want a vibe
not
check.
convinced. I'm not convinced that I can trust this guy with the truth.
Okay.
So I would like to also like insight whether I should trust him or not.
I mean,
Vibe
it is
check.
the captain of the guard. How corrupt could it be?
Where are my? Sorry, I'm getting used to this character sheet.
Music today
insight.
has been crazy, Brad.
With the guidance from earlier, would put me at 14. And then just in case, I need to see if I can actually do this. There's a new feature there that fighters get in 2024. Where are you? Oh, wait. I don't have that anymore. Never mind. I forgot. I forgot. There's been a few changes to my character sheet since the prologue. Okay, so in that case, I have a 14.
You sort of try and get the measure of him. I think you get the sense that he is sort of being relatively honest with you. His elven ears prick a little bit at some noises that happen behind him, as if he's very attentive. He's kind of looking over you, and you get the sense that at the moment it seems as though he does kind of believe you all. He does feel like he's leaning towards being on your side. And you get the sense that he's just trying to get to the bottom of what's going on. But you also get the sense that he's working with, like a half of the picture here. And he's just trying to get to the bottom of it. He pauses for a moment and sort of turns and takes a few beats to mull over what to do. And then he says, "I think we'll take you all down to the guardhouse for now, and we'll look into this." And then he turns to two of the other guards and says, "You two, the address he mentioned, go and see what you can find." And he says, "What should they expect? How many of these assassins did you manage to neutralize?"
0.
Right. But you fought with them.
I did. I maimed one of them pretty good. They'll probably find blood on the floor. And mine. And I'll, gesture down to where I am profusely bleeding because I got stabbed in that same fight.
He glances over to the 20-year-old boy, the skinny-looking assassin, and then back to the shield maiden, and then back to you and says, "The assassins here, how many were there?"
They used some sort of magic to darken the room, which made it hard to count or know how many, but there must have been at least 5.
Right.
Because I was engaged with 2. One of my companions got hit, and then they had the one that was blinding us, so at minimum 4 or 5, but probably more.
I think there was probably more.
Okay. All right, get them up. Maybe we'll head down the south wall. We'll deal with it down there. He takes a moment. He pulls a little notebook out of his back pocket and starts flipping through a few of the pages. After a minute, he sends the 2 ahead to go to Alden's place. You see 2 of the other guards pick up the assassin, and a guard each comes over to you and helps each of you up by the elbow, and says, "Okay, we're going to head down to the south wall guardhouse, and I'll hand you over to whoever's on duty down there. At this moment, I'm inclined to believe you, that everything that you're saying is the truth, and hopefully we can get this all done and dusted and you can go on your way. You were heading to the assembly?"
That's right.
We need to report back to them to let them know the status of our assignment.
Are they expecting you?
I don't think they were expecting us back this quickly, but we weren't expecting the Tinkerer to be dead. So that does change it quite a bit.
Very well. Ren, go to the council halls, report this to the guards at the front gate, see what they do. Very well, follow me. And he begins to lead you all away. Tooth, you can kind of stealthily follow, I think, if you want.
Yes, please.
And they take you basically down back where you came from. The entire time...
Are they bringing the other suspect with us, or are they keeping him separate?
He's with you, but behind you guys, as you're at the front with the guard captain.
As long as we're all going to the same location, that's fine. Okay.
The assassin is like thrashing constantly. Behind you as you're kind of moving along, or maybe Tooth you see from every now and then, the guards really have to like wrestle him every so often. But the assassin, while very dexterous, very lithe, and very acrobatic in his movement when you saw him before, appears to be, he's not very strong. Like the larger guards are able to kind of hold him in place. Yes, Tooth.
I had a moment where I got really excited because I was like, I'm playing a rogue. Let me use my invisible mage hand to search him and see if he has anything on him. And then I realized I'm Tooth and I would never do that. So, sorry, guys.
Yeah, they take you down to the one of the lower city watch houses. So the city watch houses are peppered all over this place. You'll see on the little map there's a bunch of them. There's one here, which is the one that you're headed to in the lower city, but they're kind of all around. You are taken pretty much all the way back down to where you came from in the Tinkerer's district. You can get to Alden's house through from behind the city watch house, and get through to the Tinkerer's district to where Alden's place is. So you get the feeling that this is why you're being taken down there. The city watch guard that is bringing you down introduces himself as Lucas Stone, but says that everyone calls him Ix. So you hear the others refer to him as Captain Ix. As you're moving down through the city, he seems to be kind of just by the book. He gets everybody to keep an eye out. He has 2 people stationed and watching, and he has one of the vianthracite constructs at the front of this group and one at the back, and you're sort of escorted back down to the lower city through Dockside, and then down into the Undercity, where he brings you to this watch house. There are this is a pretty big one of the city watch houses. It's built just underneath where South Wall is, and the walls here, there's a North Wall, South Wall, and then just an unnamed part of the South Wall that are these natural rock supports that support the upper city. It's not like a perfect straight masoned wall. It is sort of natural, damp looking, dripping salt stone support that is sitting awkwardly around sort of a couple of different neighborhoods. Underneath one of them, or between 2 of these parts, there's a huge archway. Underneath that archway is a jailhouse and a place where the City Watch operate from. As you get close to it, you can see that there are lots of these City Watch guys around. For the most part, the City Watch all have the same kind of uniforms. It's white on white with these kind of officers' caps. They look very well presented. They don't look like your classic like old bobbies of old London or anything like that. They look more like they belong in like a navy. They almost look like naval wear. Each of them have different assortments of weapons. Some of them are mages, so their outfits might change a little bit. But for the most part, you see a lot of these guys coming and going from the City Watch House. As you arrive, there are 2 obvious entrances. There's the kind of public-facing, police station-looking building here, and then there's a jailhouse at the back, and you're led through and into this jailhouse, brought downstairs and taken into jail cells that are deep underground. Tooth, what are you doing as they move into the open back doors of this jailhouse here?
And this is what, okay. This is the jailhouse on the map. I'm looking at the city watch house that's back in the Tinkerer's district.
Yep, this is where you are.
I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta wait. It's too risky. So I think I'll wait, and I'll wait for a little while. But also, what is around me in the Tinkerer's district? Is it all slummy? Like Alden's house, or?
Yeah, so the Undercity isn't like a full slum. The most slum area is an area known as the Salt Wards over here. It is very cramped, packed in. It's like a sort of subterranean favela, you know, like with houses built upon houses and just all kind of twists and turns, and tiny little alleyways packed in, people living upon people. It opens up a little bit as you get to this kind of area near South Wall. It's not too bad, but it is the area where scum and villainy operate for the most part in this city. There's a lot of different gangs that move through this city, and this is where most of them do their business. The lower part here is more of an industrial zone. So imagine those old Victorian-looking docks with those, there's just a lot of carts and wagons and huge warehouses, people moving from refinery to refinery. There are tinkerers, there are businesses that work down here that are pretty much all working on refining stone, ores, bloomstone into vianthracite, and then tinkering that into certain things. There's also a lot of textile work that goes on here, and a lot of those textile companies work here because it's a big, loud operating area. So the Tinkerer's district isn't quite as like warehousey as the other areas, because this is where those companies work. And Alden's house sits kind of in the middle of that Tinkerer's district there. So it's not really a slum, but it's like an industrial zone.
It's like factory working. Okay,
Yeah.
I just wasn't sure if like I could go ask around about the item master, but I think I'm gonna plant my butt and I'm gonna hide. I'm gonna wait.
All right. Give me another stealth check, I think, for down here. Because you are right outside the City Watch house, and there's lots of City Watch coming and going.
Yeah. I mean, I don't have to be immediately next to it, but I'm definitely close. Okay. $23.
23.
Better than last time.
Okay. Okay, so we'll follow the others as they're led downstairs and into these sort of jail cells. There's a process at the gate where you three are separated. All of your stuff is taken off of you. You have nothing but the clothes on your back at the moment. All of your items are placed into varying lockers, taken away from you. You're registered with the head watchman here, who's introduced to you as Captain Designer. There's a jailer that comes up from below ground, who is this absolutely enormous Goliath, very muscular, like even for a Goliath, like ripped and shredded, tattoos covering almost every inch of his skin. And he's the only person you've seen so far that seems to work in here that doesn't have the City Watch uniform on. He's just wearing what looks like sort of simple clothing, dirty. He has these tattoos that are scripts and symbols of the old gods. And as he comes up, he leads each of you one at a time down into the jail cells below. You're placed into individual cells of your own. And you also, after the three of you are led down and placed into a cell, at one point you see the assassin being led down and into a cell further along.
I would like to object.
Okay.
That's okay.
Yeah.
I believe there's been some kind of mistake, and I think I would really like to begin again. Can you please explain why exactly we're being treated like this?
This is like during the processing part here, and there's like a handful of guards. By the way, this is also happening with like 2 other people. There seems to be like 2 people that are maybe like 40s, 50s. They look a little older, human, bedraggled. The woman's face is like she has like makeup running down her face as if she was crying. The man is covered in like filth and soot and dirt. And the 2 of them seem to be like having an argument about who stole this item off of one another in the corner. And as you walk in, like this is happening in one corner. There are city watch going. The Goliath is coming up. You're being introduced to one person, led over. Your stuff's being taken off of you, and then you object. The head watchman is speaking with guardsman Ix as you sort of object to this, and they both sort of stop, turn, and look at you. And Captain Ix says, we're just trying to get to the bottom of precisely what's happened. You've reported a murder?
Yes, absolutely. No, I totally understand. I understand. But I just feel like right now we're being treated like criminals, and I don't believe technically we've actually committed any crime.
Well, you did destroy 2 market stalls. You also tore a tapestry and a banner.
Those were an accident. I wasn't aware that...
I did that. She did not. She was a bystander.
And Miss Yerno as well. But unfortunately, you are all together and you're involved in
If we're all together,
a situation.
I would like to propose that we get to stay together in a cell then, because considering we did have an assassin chasing us, I don't really feel comfortable leaving my friends in individual cells. I'm sure you understand.
Right. My apologies, but this really is not up to you at the moment. We have a process that we stick to, and you are at the moment being investigated and part of an investigation, so we're going to place you into individual cells just to ensure that nothing untoward could happen.
Do we even look like criminals? And she's just got soot all over her face from falling into the stall.
The head watchman, who is sitting behind the desk as you're brought in, and stands up and says, "All right, shut the fuck up, all of you. Okay? He's being nice. At the moment, as I understand it, he's told me you were trying to catch this little fucker. Okay? I ain't as nice as him. Every single one of you looks like criminals until proven innocent to me. I'll put you wherever the fuck I want to put you. You got that?" The Captain Ix kind of looks at you and shoots you a bit of a look like Elenis, and then shrugs a little bit. "Rock!" And then the Goliath comes up.
Yes.
"Take them down, individual cells, put them 3 next to each other so she'll shut the fuck up."
Got it.
And then one by one you're led down. They put you in cells next to one another, so you're all aligned. And
On
then
the way down the stairs, I muttered to myself, "It's not justice just because you say it with a loud voice."
What?
Nothing.
Goliath places you in your cell.
The captain who is being somewhat reasonable is also walking down with us, or is he left at this point?
No, you're handed over to this Goliath one by one.
Okay. And as we're walking down the stairs, if the Goliath is the only one that can hear us, I'm going to say, "See, this is what I meant by don't get involved unless you have to. I was worried about this."
There's no way I was leaving you there by yourself.
I bite my tongue because I know the Goliath is listening. Well, actually,
At some point,
I'm not
you
gonna-
are left alone.
Okay, well, after he walks away, once he's out of earshot, I'll say, "Right, but now instead of me being left alone, it's Toof out there with the device left alone. I was kind of hoping you'd be out there to help look after it, but now we'll just have to pray that Toof stays out of trouble."
I'll say this, you're not alone down here, though. Your 3 cells are next to one another, but there are other people in these cells.
Then I'm keeping my voice down.
I don't know if you can kind of say it quietly and probably just have the others here. We'll say Elenis is in the furthest along cell. You're probably in the middle of the row. Elenis, Rio, Brula. These cells are underground as well, and you're led down multiple levels, and you also see that the these are rows of cells with you probably go down 3 basement levels before you're led down a tiny little circular stairwell, and then down into your the level that they're placing you into cells on. It's not nice down here. There are the sounds of the refinery and refineries that are constantly sort of rumbling through the walls. Every now and then there's like dust that drifts down from the stone ceilings. The floors are very damp. It smells of urine and feces and salt. There are 2 rows of cells along this floor, about 20 either side, and each cell has these like thick metallic bars. The whole row is dimly lit by a single burning torch in the hallway. So it's very, very dark down here. It's
Dismal.
not completely pitch black, because there's the tiniest little glow of a single torch in the hallway.
Sounds like my house. No joke. The lowest lighting possible.
It's my house the moment 8 p.m. hits.
Also
Single
same.
candle.
And it smells of urine and feces and salt. I'm divorced. So like 5 of the cells in here appear to be occupied, including your own. So 2 others. One has eventually is occupied by the assassin that was brought down in the black wraps, and is taken all the way to the very furthest end, you guys being kind of central along this row. And then there's another cell that you didn't see who or what is in there, but you know there's someone in there because there's coughing coming from one of the other cells. Other than that, it doesn't seem like any of the other cells bars were, or the doors were open, or you get the sense that there's someone else in here. But if you do speak even in hushed tones, you get the sense that you're probably going to be overheard by the other 2 people that are down here. Just for you, so you're aware for that previous thing. You can control Z a little bit. The cell itself is probably about 10 feet by 10 feet. It has a single bucket in a corner, rough cut stone walls. There's no bed. There's no window. You're underground. The bars of all of the cells running along here are inscribed with endless runes that seem to be casting an anti-magic barrier along the entire row. So if any of you have any spells up, if any of you have any, if you're concentrating on stuff, if you have the attempt to cast things, it will stop. You're completely in an anti-magic zone down here. So your concentration ends, unfortunately, on your spell, as this assassin is led down through this thing, and I think you to be aware of it, and I can't remember if any of you have any other spells going on. I
think jump would have worn off long before we got down here.
The Goliath leads the last of you into, like Brula probably, into your cell, closes it, locks it with 2 locks. He takes out a big ring of keys, puts a key into one lock, and then a second lock underneath it. It's all on a single thing here, but there are 2 bolts that run across on the inside of this thing. Goes back upstairs, comes back down with your assassin, leads the assassin through the thing. You notice that you can see his eyes for the first time after the spell has worn off. He shoots kind of all 3 of you a filthy look as he moves past, still with drying blood on his lips swelling up, almost comical sizes, and he's brought to the furthest end and is left there. Then you are left here for a little while. The Goliath moves past you, walks to the end of the stairwell, and then walks down the stairs. And you don't see him again for a little while either. And you're just kind of left on your own for a little bit. Every now and then the coughing of this third person at the end of this set of cells.
Brew, are you okay?
Yeah. You see Brula, like, just sat there on the floor. And she's got her hands and arms around her shoulders, or around her knees. And she's, she looks a little cold, and she says, "I'm cold. How are you?"
Yeah, pretty cold.
Yeah.
Kind of mad.
Yeah. And
Rio, are you
Brula
okay?
looks, yeah.
Oh my gosh, he's silent.
Oh, he's talking to himself.
I did it again. Yeah, I'm okay. Probably need to bandage this up at some point because I'm still bleeding, but... sorry, I didn't mean to make a commotion and get you all dragged into this, but I saw a chance to
No,
catch
that was
the
my
guy
own
and...
fault.
We weren't going anywhere without you. And
Right.
same, you won't go anywhere without us.
Well, I definitely don't have a choice in the matter now.
No, that's true.
But yeah, I saw a chance to grab the guy and I had to go for it, you know?
Right.
If it wasn't you, it was gonna be me.
Brula almost says, and if it wasn't you, it was going to be me, but knows better because it definitely wasn't going to be Brula.
I hope Tooth's
I wonder how
okay.
long they'll keep us down here.
With that, about 30 minutes passes. The Goliath, you hear from the like echoing down the hallway, you hear the head watchman from the top of the stairwell shout, "Rock!" And you suddenly see the Goliath head up to the top of the stairs. A few moments later, he's leading someone else down. A very young looking person, like early teens, maybe like 14, 15 maybe. And he brings them down manacled and takes them to one of the lower levels. A moment later, he comes back up and moves on to your level and walks past each of you, ignoring you completely down to the furthest end of the cells here. And then you hear a cuckoo, cuckoo, the Goliath then walks past and has the assassin with them and leads them past you. The assassin says, "You ain't gonna be able to do nothing to me, nothing, because we're gonna find where you fucking live. And you," and he says that to you as he goes past your 3 cells, "I've got every one of your faces. I know exactly who you are now. You're done, you are fucking dead, every one of you." Then you see, maybe from the very corner of this thing, the Goliath literally just with one arm slam the assassin into the wall.
Shut up.
"Oh, you fucker, I think you just dislocated my arm." And then you see them being dragged upstairs and away. You kind of hear the commotion upstairs as he kind of does the same thing, shouting at people, but it's kind of hard to make out.
Well, that seems like it's going well.
At this point, I don't think we need my spell to make him confess. I think he's digging himself into a deeper hole.
I hope so.
Probably about another 30 minutes goes by. And
You see Brula rocking back and forth, and she starts humming to herself because she can't not hum or do anything musical. So, and it gets progressively louder.
And I'm used to this sound.
yeah. Just to check in with Tooth, are you doing anything crazy outside? Tooth, if you're sort of staking out the City Watch House, maybe like 10 minutes after they're taken in, you see the guard captain and his group, the guards that delivered everybody here with those 2 Vianthracite constructs, move into the Tinkerers district. So they go south, they don't go back where they came from.
Does it look like they're heading to Alden's house?
I
Or are they
don't
going
know if you
somewhere
would know. I mean, they're heading that way.
else? No, I stay. I
Okay.
wait.
About an hour later, they come back.
What are they saying?
Roll me a perception check.
Okay. Can I have advantage because I'm hiding? Doesn't matter. It's a nat 2024.
Damn. Yeah, I think that you overhear a conversation
big
between
eyes.
the captain and the person who seems to be sort of the captain's most trusted watchman or second in command here, maybe. The captain is looking over a little notepad here. The 4 of the guards don't come back, but the rest of them do, including both of the vianthrosite constructs. It's quite hard to hear what like they're talking about, but you find an angle as you see them and spot them, and maybe kind of find a way to just listen in on a scrap of this conversation. And as they move past, you hear the captain say, "Not really sure, Ren. I mean, it does seem as though there was a scuffle, and then, I mean, if I had to put it down to anyone, I would say probably the Blue Thieves Guild. I mean, who else is going to be going to this much effort to steal something?" You hear the other person say, "Yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Black raps, you know, going around like a bunch of fucking ninjas. It's got to be them, innit?" "I'd say so, yes. These adventurers have been caught up in it, but something doesn't add up. I just can't quite put my finger on what." And then they move past you and back into the city watch house.
Sorry, just to confirm what I heard. Blue Steel Guild?
Blue Thieves Guild.
Blue Thieves Guild, okay.
Yeah.
I'm glad I checked. Okay.
The group move into the building. Do you stay out here, staking the place out again, sitting in a
Yes, I'm sorry.
sitting in a vehicle with cigarettes and sunglasses on?
Yeah,
collar.
more like just hiding in a bush while my tummy gurgles.
Yeah. The three of you, after about an hour or so, a little over an hour, the captain returns and comes downstairs, Captain Ix, and he walks in front of each of your cells and says, "My apologies. I'm sure it's not very comfortable down here, but I hope you can understand that until we understand what's going on, a lot of people are very good at lying. A lot of people can cast all sorts of spells. You wouldn't believe how many people have figured out how to make themselves look like me. And until we can really get to the bottom of each and every one of these incidents, unfortunately, as uncomfortable as it is for you, you are best served in a cell where we can just figure it out." We went to investigate the blacksmith, Alden's smithy. We recovered the body, and we've sent word to the council, but we've not heard anything back. So we're inclined to let you go, but a few more questions if you wouldn't mind indulging me, and then we can move on.
Of course.
I'll just sit up and say, "It's no trouble. The straw bed is very nice, though the smell is maybe not." "What kind of questions?"
It's not comfortable, though you'll be pleased to know that I have a mage upstairs who can cast prestidigitation on you, so you'll be able to be smelling like roses on your way out onto the street.
Whew. That's good.
You should also know that if you were guilty, we wouldn't offer that service. Back to business. Alden is an individual that was missing for a good long time. Is this somebody that you knew, or is this your first encounter with him?
This was our first time meeting him.
All of his properties, presumably, all of the things that he was working on seem to have been taken, at least anything of note or worth. Was that the case when you first arrived? Did it seem as though these assailants were stealing from the Tinkerer?
Well, according to what that guy over there told us, and well, wait, I forget, is the assassin in the same room with us?
No, he's been taken out.
Okay. Well, according to what that other guy said, they were looking for something that he had, so I'm guessing they probably took everything. Maybe they don't know whatever it looks like.
Right. Now, your quest from the assembly mentioned something about a device or an item collection. Did you manage to recover it?
Potentially.
Potentially. This is really a yes or no matter.
We think we have the item, yes.
It can't be the knife.
No, sir.
And the only other vianthrosite piece that we found was... Honestly, I can't tell what it is. But it's a strange device with capsules either side. About this size.
Oh, that. Be careful with that. We think it's explosive.
Understood. That's not the item in question either.
No, sir.
So the item in question is still about your persons?
No, sir. It's outside. I understand your need for all the details, but I don't think the Assembly would look too kindly on me revealing the one item we were tasked to keep. I can't tell you where it is.
That's unfortunate because I don't think I can let you go until I confirm, one way or the other, whether the Blue Thieves Guild have dealt with this or not.
Well, it would be unfortunate to be kept down here, but if I were to go back to the Assembly and tell them that I let you take it from me, that would look really very poorly on the rest of us.
The Assembly are the council that run this entire country, and I'm not sure it's going to be very easy to get one, let alone any of the members, to respond to us very quickly. You might be here a while before we can confirm.
Attempt to talk to them? That we were on the list and we had security clearance. Couldn't we go and try and speak with them?
I sent a messenger immediately after
Would a messenger be looked upon in the same way as someone with security clearance?
Hard to say. It depends on the severity of the issue, importance, whether they're even in the council chambers or not. Each one of them has their own separate sort of day jobs that they work. They're not always at the council chambers, and locating them isn't always particularly easy unless we... I mean...
Can I try roll intimidation on him?
What are you doing
Please
to him?
don't.
I mean, what are you doing to intimidate him?
Well, I don't know if it's particularly intimidating, but I'd like to roll a check where Brula just says matter of factly, I think you should let us go. You don't even know who we are.
Fuck it. Go ahead. Roll me an intimidation check.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
19.
He sort of glances towards your cell, and there's a moment where he kind of like he's taken aback by this sudden brazen comment from you, and he cocks his head and says, "Then who are you?"
We're adventurers. We're obviously under some kind of contract. You must get this all the time.
Yes, quite often, but not every adventurer is sanctioned by the City Watch. Not every single adventurer coming through here is working above board. There is a lot of activity and a lot of crime being committed in this town.
But
and
didn't you see our book? We each have a signature and a stamp. Surely that means something.
Now,
It,
wait,
Captain-
just a question.
Captain,
is it from the
if I'm-
actual assembly?
it's legit. Yeah, you have legit
Bro.
paperwork, and
Okay.
he says as
Sorry,
much.
let's
He
just-
says, "Yes, I believe you." It's just
Captain, if I may, I believe you that you deal with crime all the time, but at this point I would have to ask, what crime are we even accused of? That guy already confessed. You heard him yourself. You said so in the city streets as you approached. That his companions killed Alden, so obviously we didn't murder him. So what are we being held for? We've done nothing except pursue the task we were given.
I'll put it this way. You're being held because something doesn't add up for me. I understand that the assassin, who I now know is a member of the Blue Thieves Guild, confessed to you, but a confession doesn't really mean anything. I could cast a spell right now and have you confess to something. The spell, if I tell you, say this while the guards walk over. They've used that sort of trick on me several times. While I do believe you, and while I believe that you have been sanctioned by the Assembly, there's just something missing. There's an element to this that I can't quite put my finger on, and it seems to be around this device, and I'd like to know what that device is before I let you go. Regardless of the fact that you are sanctioned by the Assembly, and regardless of the fact that it seems you've apprehended a member of the Blue Thieves Guild, which is very good work, there's just an element of this for me that I just don't quite feel comfortable releasing you at the moment. There is quite literally an enormous piece of this jigsaw puzzle that is missing. And I understand that it's uncomfortable and you have work to do, but if you've hidden this device, and I don't know if I can trust you fully. Unless you can think of a way to make me trust you, outside of the evidence that I have in front of me, which is that somebody's dead, half of the market stalls have been wrecked, and you've apprehended a member of the Blue Thieves Guild.
Alright, tell me then, what would it take to get you to trust us? Because there's gotta be something. Something we can do.
Well, I was hoping that perhaps you could provide this device for me so that I could have a look at it, so I could understand what all this fuss was about. Maybe that would help piece together what's going on. Alternatively,
what are you looking for? You took my instruments.
Yes, but the device, as you've said, is still out there somewhere. I'm guessing you hid it when you found the assailant. He kind of looks across each of you.
Brula crosses her arms. I'm cold. I'm bleeding. And she sits down.
We were bid not to entrust the device to anyone, sir. By the council directly. I'm afraid that includes you.
We were given explicit orders that it was our responsibility and that we should not hand it over to anyone else. And that came directly from the assembly, so I don't really know what you think we can do. Our hands are somewhat tied, and I don't even mean metaphorically. I mean physically at this point, because you put us in this cage. But what do you want us to do?
If you're looking for a reason to trust us, sir, all I can suggest is that Bach thought I was up to the task to look after this device. Maybe that's worth something.
That's true.
The commander of the City Watch,
he was
if
the
I
one
can
who interviewed
contact
me
him
for this task.
I shall attempt to contact him and see if I can verify your story through the commander. Alternatively, we'll have to wait for another member of the assembly to contact us.
Well, since we can't do anything magical and you won't let us sit together, could you at least please treat my companion's wounds, since I am not allowed to?
Yes, how badly are you injured?
Truthfully, sir, I've had worse.
Injuries are still injuries.
I'll be fine. Well, if you have an infirmary and they want to stitch this up so it'll stop bleeding, that's probably not a bad idea. Or maybe just a healer to cast a little spell on it, but I don't think you can do that down here. Speaking of which, I felt it when we walked in here. These stones on the walls, stifling all the magic in here. That other guy, the prisoner, while he's in here, his mind was freed. But if you take him out of this building, he'll once again be compelled to tell the truth, yes? I ordered him to confess to the truth.
He's already confessed the truth. We're able to compel people as well.
Oh, good. Well, that's all I really wanted with apprehending him in the first place. I don't suppose you can tell me what he said.
I can tell you a little. He is a member of a very prominent gang known as the Blue Thieves Guild. You probably would have actually heard of these, all three of you, if you've been in the city long enough. They've been operating for a pretty decent amount of years. They take, in fact, I think in your handout you might have them under the notable groups handout. Yeah, classic criminal guild focused on theft, assassination, and urban control, and they steal magical artifacts and high-value items a lot. They're constantly hitting the auction house, items in transit, shops, stores that sell really expensive things, and they work in a way that is kind of a breach and clear situation like what you dealt with, where they'll cast like a spell, like dazzle people, darkness, something like that, set off an explosion, smash and grab, get the hell out of there. Who is running it, what they're dealing with, who they are, no one knows. But he says, and they're incredibly elusive. So the fact that you managed to catch one of them has provided us with a lot of good grace in terms of letting you go. It was enough, honestly, for me to suggest to let you go, but I am not the head watchman of this watch house, so it isn't up to me precisely.
Tell me, could you not ask him the exact nature of this device they wanted, if you can compel him to tell the truth?
As I understand it, that is precisely what they're doing right now.
Good. Because frankly, even we aren't exactly sure what it does. It would be nice
we
to
weren't
know.
told anything about this.
That fills me with confidence.
Us too.
Are you going to get the other yelling man to come down here and talk to us if we don't tell you? Because I have a feeling you're just being nice, when you could really just tear off our fingernails or something if you wanted.
I believe you.
Jesus.
I
Oh, sorry.
am not... He kind of like looks back towards the doorway and then looks back and says, do you know why they call me Ix?
No.
It is a nickname that I was given as a child. Many years ago, perhaps you're old enough to remember, perhaps you've heard the stories, there was a group of working orphans that were lost while at the refinery, 19 in total. A group of adventurers found us. They saved my life and all of my brothers and sisters at the orphanage. I was the last one found, number 19. As such, people started calling me Ix. I, unlike some people in the Watch, have a fondness for adventurers. I think you're doing good work. I think you're useful, and I think this entire country would destabilize without your input. I don't understand why you don't have more power than you do. If it were up to me, and I were going by my book, I would simply just let you go right now. I believe everything you're saying, and I understand how important it is that you to be free and get on with this work, especially if you're sanctioned by the council. Unfortunately, I'm just a captain. I'm not even the head watchman of this jail that you're sitting in. I've voiced my concerns with the head watchman as it sits. He wants this locked down. The Blue Thieves Guild in particular have been incredibly elusive. They're an extreme problem. The council have been putting pressure on us. So, he wants to make sure that all of the T's are crossed and the I's dotted before you are set free, unfortunately. It may be a long wait for you. It may not. Again, I shall head out now and I shall see if I can find the commander of the City Watch before he settles down for the evening. The best I can offer you for now, unless you want to tell me where this device is.
No, best of luck.
Very well.
I just pray that they don't find it before someone else does.
I shall head to the infirmary and send somebody down for your wounds.
Much obliged.
Do you need any food? Water?
Yes. I'd like a plate of pork and an iced water.
I shall do my best.
And she smiles.
He gives
If that's
you a rice
going,
roll.
I'll have some too.
He nods, closes his little book, nods to you and heads out.
They're going to be back, sir. If they're still looking for that item. There was a lot of them, brother. There was, what, 5, 6, 7?
I know.
They're looking-
and he was
they're
the
looking
nice
for that.
one. They sent down the nice one first, Rio. Now they're going to
No,
send
I
down
don't
the
mean
other
the
one.
guards. I'm talking about the thieves, bro. I don't mean I mean the thieves, brother. They're going to be back because they know. They know we have it.
Yeah.
They're going to look for it. I'm worried that eventually they're going to find it, and the longer we spend down here, the more their odds of success increase. And I'm just going to turn to the captain and say, every second that we're down here, whatever those blue thieves are up to, they're going to be closer to achieving their goal. Please stress that to your commander.
I understand. He kind of gives you a... He pauses for a second. In fact, just make me an insight check here. I'll set you a DC.
Sure.
Can we all
completely
make an
at
insight
random.
check?
You absolutely
how
may,
about
yes.
How about a persuasion roll?
No, you need to read this expression.
I think I've already persuaded him.
Holy shit, bro! Holy shit, bro!
Wow.
That's a nat 20.
How many nat 20s was
20?
that?
That's
Wait.
2
Oh, 2 in a row.
Okay, well, I suck.
Wow.
I'm just taking it at face value. A good thing these other two are more perceptive than me.
2 nat 20s in a
Holy
row from
smokes.
Alinus,
I also
Brula, and
rolled a
Rio.
nat 20 before that. All
Damn.
three of us got one.
Damn.
It's lucky day, apart from the fact that you're all in jail.
Oh, just you.
Yeah, he sort of settles for a moment, but Brula and Alinus, for some reason, you recognize, as Rio says they'll be back, the Thieves Guild. The captain sort of stops, and a look sort of flashes across his eyes. It's almost like a look of shame, almost like the tiniest flicker of a sort of a disappointment or a shame that runs across his head, and you realize that actually it's possible that they're counting on these thieves to try and to come to this building. They either expect it or that maybe that's part of the plan.
No.
And he sort of stops for a second and then looks down and then he walks out and moves up.
Brula looks at
Did you see
Alinus.
that?
Yes, I saw it. I saw exactly what. I knew he couldn't be trusted. I knew we couldn't trust
Are
him.
they
He was being
using us
too
as
nice to
bait?
us.
Rio, did you see that?
See what?
Oh, I think
He
they're doing this on
obviously-
purpose.
Yeah. They're keeping us here on purpose, Rio.
You mean you think they're using us as bait?
Yes, 100% yes.
Well,
They
I
hope
can't
they'll
be
come
too-
back for us.
I can't be too mad at him. I used you as bait to draw the first guy out.
Oh, yeah, but you didn't intend on, like, hurting us. And it was for a good reason.
Well, I don't think the guards intend on hurting us, and they probably have a good reason.
I don't know about that. Did you see the way the guy looked at us as we went down in the basement? It's too cold down here.
I think maybe from what he said, the thieves have probably been giving them a problem for a long time. And now that there's something the thieves really want, maybe the guards want to take advantage of this chance to lure them out. I kind of see where they're coming from. I just wish they'd let us in on the plan instead of making us an unwilling participant down here in this muck.
With no weapons.
And no food.
Did they leave me with my cloak? It's just a normal cloak.
I told you to
Then
take
yes,
a
you have
cloak.
anything that's clothing. You have your armor and clothing.
So the cloak counts as clothing?
I would imagine so, unless it looks like
And-
very obviously like a magical item. I don't think.
No, it's just fancy. It's
I
just,
mean,
but
even
it's just
if-
clothes.
I don't really know what happens to magical items in anti-magic fields. I imagine they just lose their magical properties temporarily as well. But yeah,
They
you have
become
your
mundane.
yeah. You
You
have your clothing and cloak and stuff. They just took
Is it
all of your stuff
possible-
and your bags.
to move stuff between the cells?
You're also not in manacles, by the way. They unmanacled you, just
Oh, nice.
FYI.
Okay.
Sorry, what did you
Can
say?
I move stuff between the cells?
I think depending on if it's the cloak and you're trying to reach
Yes.
around, then yeah, I think you can like poke it out through
Okay.
through the bars. It's like
I
a
will
classic old
unfasten-
medieval jail underground where it's just like bars, floor
I'm
to
going to
ceiling.
unfasten my cloak and pass it through to Rio and say, could you please give this to Brula?
Sure. We're not
Oh.
entirely unarmed either. And I'll hand
Are
it
you
to Brula.
sure? And I take the cloak through the
Yeah.
wall gate.
Keep warm.
Thank you. And you see, like, she just drapes this much larger cloak around, and it just fits her whole frame. And she just looks like a little snug bug, like, oh, it's so warm. Oh, thank you, Allie. Oh,
You're welcome. I think I might have got some muck on the bottom of it. I'm sorry.
oh, that's okay. At least I'm starting to feel my fingers again.
Good. Rio, what do you mean we're not entirely unarmed?
I still have a weapon on me.
You do?
What?
Yeah. Just in case.
Oh.
What do you mean, just in case? What, are you going to, like, hurt somebody who comes into your cell?
I mean, just in case. You never know.
Well done.
If, say, for example, the thieves get down here. But with that said, I don't think they can. Getting through the whole city watch and getting through an anti-magic field, I don't think the blue thieves can touch us down here, really.
Let's hope not.
Have any of the other prisoners down here been listening?
There's only one other prisoner. He seems to be on the same side as you, but at the furthest end in. And the only thing you ever hear, and every now and then, is just like a coughing, like a. That's it. Other than that, I don't think you're. It doesn't seem as if there's anyone else. And when you first came in, if you were taking note, there is. It looked like all the other doors were open apart from that one. The only other guy was the assassin who was taken out.
So what now? We just wait?
Well, now, I think we do wait.
Yeah.
And we be very careful with how we phrase things. I did tell them that
What do you think two of this okay?
And with that, Tooth.
That's why I said I hid it, not gave it to a companion.
Yeah.
You've been
Yeah.
loitering around outside. It's been about an hour and a half, 2 hours now, since they were brought down. So, what are you doing? You're just staying in this bush the whole time?
Yeah.
Another hour passes since the time that you see the guard captain and a handful of the guards return, and then you see him leave again.
Okay. And have I overheard him talking to anyone or saying anything, or have I
Well, they've been
overheard anything
inside
about
the
this?
building. I think.
Yeah, but has anybody come out with on break or? I've
Give
been
me a
actively trying to
perception
see.
check.
Sure. I'm actively trying to get information, and I haven't seen the bad guy come out either. So it's 6.
No one else seems to be involved in this situation, and whatever is happening seems to be going on indoors. They don't. They don't seem to bring the assassin out either. The thief, the Thieves Guild member. Until this point, when you do see the guard captain return, he is with 2 of his guards and the 2 Vianthrosite constructs. He's left 2 other guards in there, and it's he begins walking away and moving sort of northwards and towards Dockside, out of the Undercity. What do you do?
Sorry, I was really thinking hard on that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna do something real quick just to make a decision for me. I'm gonna stealthily follow him.
Okay, roll me a stealth check. I'll roll a perception check for this guy. He's pretty perceptive. He's very perceptive. You need to roll really high.
16.
16, pretty good. You start following him. He is moving through the streets. He moves across the bridge at Dockside, and then begins making his way through the open part of the city on the east of town here, past the Mages Guild. It looks like he is headed to the area of the city that would be over here somewhere. He's on this kind of a trajectory towards the south gate, the north gate.
Oh, interesting.
Give me a perception check.
Another one, sure. I did fail miserably, so if you... 10.
Yeah, it's hard to make out what he's talking about with his second in command there. The 2 of them seem to be having a pretty fervent discussion. Every now and then you sort of catch a frustrated exchange between them. Not as if they're frustrated with each other, but as if they're both frustratedly talking about the situation. And they start making their way through the city with these two very large constructs following them as well. They make their way past the Mages Guild. They move past the enormous Cathedral of the Sanctioned Hand, past the huge Ebon Quill Theatre. This time of day, it's pushing like 5-6 p.m. People are starting to really liven up in the city as they're all kind of closing down for their general work days, even though the markets and stuff would still be in full swing. Ebon Quill wakes up every night and puts on a performance, so it becomes a very busy area as you enter into the entertainment district. And then these two move into the city watch house that is located on the west of town here, just south of the jewel market and the barracks.
And did I see anyone that looked like they were leaving and headed to the assembly or anything like that during my wait?
There was one. Well, I guess I don't know if you would know what it was, where they were going. You saw people coming and going constantly. You probably saw one guy
And
come back.
Did it look like there was like, I'm assuming not, but like there was no somebody coming out and being like, hey, be on your best watch or whatever because something might be happening. Nothing like that, right?
Make me an insight check.
Okay. That would be great time for a 11.
11. It's kind of hard to say. You do get the sense that they did sort of tighten up security a little bit when they brought the prisoners in, a little while after that, but I don't know if you've studied this city watch house enough before today to really understand whether this is the norm or not. So it's quite hard to tell, but it didn't seem overtly like that very much. When these guards head into the city watch house, where do you go now? Do you wait here?
No, I'll go back to watching outside of the other one. I'll head back that way, but when I stress, I am on the highest alert. Even though I smell that very delicious roast meat over there, and I'm like, my nostrils are working on their own, and I'm very hungry, I'm gonna go back, and I'm gonna sit, and I'm gonna wait.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Okay. I'm staying on task. I hope. 18.
You start making your way back through the town. Are you moving quickly, slowly, stealthily, running?
Stealthily, obviously, yeah. I've
Make
been
me
stealthing this
Give
whole
me a stealth
time.
check.
Okay. $24.
As you're making your way back through town, you kind of maybe you get towards where the area where the Cathedral of the Sanctioned Hand is, and there's a huge group of people that you're able to kind of just maneuver around and get lost behind. As you do so, and you sort of make your way down past Market Street, you do a natural kind of glance around, and you recognize that the captain is looking down the street as if they've lost you, and he kind of frustratedly stops and then crosses his arms and then walks down a different route.
Okay. I'm glad. Truthfully, I'm glad it was just him. I think.
Yeah.
I'm on the fence. The way the roleplay went, it's hard for me to tell if he's just really good at his job and a good guy, or if he is secretly the worst person ever, which probably says more about me than anything. But I'm gonna sit and I'm gonna wait. I'm anxious. Can you go back to them now so I can stop rambling?
Who of the four of you wants to roll me very important dice right now?
Fairlight.
Ooh, I'll do it.
I've been rolling terribly. Don't
Yeah,
put
no,
me
you
in
don't
the
feel
lucky.
like to do it. The other two have been much
you're
more
due
lucky.
for a nat 20.
Elspeth said it. So Elspeth,
Oh,
roll
no.
me a d20, please.
Let's go.
All right.
We got
Magic.
this.
16.
16.
Seems
Okay.
pretty good.
I mean, is that how many bad guys come after you?
I don't. Yeah, right. I'm like, I don't know what that actually means
don't
in
think
terms
that's a
of
good
being bad or
number.
good. You grow 16 limbs.
2 more hours go by while you're sort of down there, and at one point you're each led away by the Goliath and up to an infirmary room, and they look over any injuries that you might have. I guess the two of you that have minor injuries.
Yeah.
You're treated by one of the healers that work on behalf of the City Watch, and they'll bring you up. You can refill your hit points. You also get the benefit of a short rest if you want to claim anything that you get. Any of your resources that replenish on a short rest. So you can do that on your sheet very easily. If you look at the top of your sheet, there's a little knife and fork. You can click that if you want. But refill your HP first, because you won't want to use any hit dice, because they will have cast spells on you that allowed you to replenish your hit points, nip back like any little minor wounds that you had, close up. And you probably got some bandages over you as well, where they've dealt with you in a more of a physical way. So they bring you back to your cell. They do give you some food, but it is simple bread and water. You don't get any ice water or pork. And it's not nice bread. It's hard just before stale. And the water does not seem clean, but you get a little water skin of warm, maybe clean water. So you can all use your short rests. Any of you that get any of your short rest things come back, but you don't do a long rest. You are technically in the process of a long rest, but after about 2 more hours, about 7 p.m., the light is dimming on the outside for you two. When the head watchman comes down, the kind of gruff guy that was much more rude to you than the captain was.
Hate this guy.
He heads downstairs along with the Goliath, and the Goliath kind of just stands in the doorway and leans in the doorway as this watchman walks in, the head watchman. Again, he's just kind of wearing a slightly different uniform with a few accolades on it, but he looks a little tired as he comes downstairs. He's got short cropped black hair. He has a very sort of jagged bottle scar running along underneath his clean shaven chin, but otherwise just seems like kind of just your average late 40s, maybe early 50s human man. He comes downstairs and he says, well, lucky for you, eh?
Is it?
Yeah.
Our lucky day.
Someone has reported back to us just in time that your little story was accurate.
Right.
See, I had a plan, okay? My plan was to use you all as bait.
Yeah, we suspected that.
Yeah.
You can still do that, sir. Just give me my hammer back so I can smack them thieves when they show up. I'll go along with it.
Well, I've got a couple of options for you. That's one of them. You can hang around here all night, wait and see if they show up. They tend to operate at night, usually. I'm surprised to hear they did this during the day. Option 2, we sneak you out the back door, pretend you are still here, deal with them ourselves later on. Option 3, do whatever the fuck you want, you're free to go.
I like option 3.
Option 3 is tempting.
What happens if we do help you? Do we get any compensation? I mean, you threw us in prison, and we've been here.
Well, here's what I'm willing to offer you, if you do stick around. I'll get them market stall people to drop the charges against you. Plus, and I reckon you'll probably get away with this anyway, to be honest, but you did rip down a tapestry on behalf of the city. The charcoal salesman wants your ass.
And Brula wipes her face. Yeah, I guess that's fair.
Sir, what if I just told you that I like smacking bad guys and I do it happily for free?
Well, here's the other thing, is that you wouldn't be working on behalf of the city. We ain't gonna sanction you as adventurers. I'll tell you why. Blue Thieves Guild, they're too dangerous. Can't be bothered with the paperwork. These fuckers, I don't understand how they're doing it, right? We've been investigating them for a good long time, and I've got my work cut out for me because I'm down here in the Undercity. They're strong, and they've got constructs like we do, but better. Couple of them. I don't know how they're moving through the city, and I don't understand how they're doing it without getting into trouble with Sist or the other gangs. But they are. They might mop the floor with you. You might see your heads twisted off before morning. And that's a risk that if you want to run it, is all on you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know, guys. If someone can't guarantee our safety before I can have a cinnamon roll or something, I just don't know that I want to sign up for that right now. Maybe they can. I just want a meal.
Brula. Well, I think I'll just turn back to the guardsman. She is overdue for a nice meal, but Brula, we kind of already signed up for it. If we take option 3 and walk away, those guys are still going to come after us, and we won't have the city watch to back us up.
Okay,
So-
I agree. However, I haven't fed my cat in some time, and I'm worried about how well he might be doing on his own.
Oh, yeah, your
Deception
cat.
check.
Why did you have to say it in that tone of voice? I would have picked it up either way. You don't have to make it that obvious.
I love
17?
that you made
He
it that obvious.
doesn't even
love
pick up
that.
on it. He just says,
He's
yeah, I
that
mean,
oblivious.
No,
look,
it's,
Okay.
it's canon. She made that obvious for Brula. Like,
Oh yeah, no, I'm being very obvious because
He-
I'm not
Really
very
doing
good at
I'll put
lying.
it. He doesn't give a shit. How about that? He just clearly doesn't care. He says, look, we're gonna let you out, okay? We can sit you somewhere upstairs. We can go and get you some proper dinner. You know, I understand you get hangry, yeah. But the only other thing is that a council member has requested you as well. Since that's the reason you're out of here, they want to see you over at the council chambers, and they wanted to see you now. So the choice is yours. You can get out of here and go and see the council, or you can stick with us. Put a knife in the belly of some of these fuckers that have been running rampant.
Is both not an option? If the council wants to talk to us, I feel like we have to run and talk to them first.
Oh,
But
we
if
can try
be
and
of
sneak you out.
assistance- Okay.
These thieves guilds, I mean, plenty of them. They've all got eyes and ears everywhere. I mean, if nothing else, the lost rats are around here somewhere.
I don't understand how they would have better constructs than the City Watch. That seems like a big, heavy thing to move around so quietly.
They've got an unimaginable amount of wealth, I think. They've been stealing nothing but the best shit in town for years. Pawning it off, probably selling it outside of the city. Who knows who to. That amount of money. You can turn a few ears, turn a few eyes, get some Viagra shit.
That makes sense. could you give us a few minutes to talk this over? We've had a long day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let him out. And then he turns around and says, your stuff, if you want it, just come up to the front desk. We'll sort you out. If you want to hang out here, we'll find you a room that ain't one of these. And he turns around. The Goliath moves over to the cages and begins unlocking them.
1, 2, 3. Okay.
And then turns around and heads out, and he goes downstairs, whereas the head watchman heads upstairs.
Okay. As soon as we have a spot to ourselves, team huddle.
Yeah.
So, I don't think these Blue Thieves people are gonna leave us alone for as long as we have it.
I think you're right.
I think you're right. I also don't
So-
think our safety is guaranteed by anybody, not the council, not these people.
No.
I think what we have to do is make the choice for us.
I agree.
I think we should sneak out. We were sent on a really dangerous mission and they didn't even know how dangerous it was. At least the guard here, who I don't even like, is giving us an option.
They've been rough, but they do deal with lying scum all day. I'm not gonna hold it against them too much. Here's the thing: if we have to contend with these Blue Thieves, I'd rather do it with an army at our back. If the City Watch has a few men involved, it will make it go a lot easier if it's going to come down to crossing swords with this Thieves Guild. Also, I didn't realize they apparently have giant killer robots, constructs, whatever. That's kind of
What
news.
makes you think we need an army? We're perfectly capable. And you see, like, Brula shivering, pulling the cloak tighter and looking
Brula,
like,
here,
we're
take
gonna
my
be
cloak.
fine.
Take my cloak too. Put it over Olympus's here. Now you have two.
I look around you to the other cell where the man who was coughing was, and I say, yes, but I am still very concerned about my cat. Out
Right.
there in the cold by himself.
Right,
Yeah.
we do need to go check on your cat.
Yeah. We mean Tooth, right?
Yes, my cat Tooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, her cat named Tooth.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go find Tooth.
What about running? I'll be honest, I'm torn. I don't know what to do. Because if the council's sending for us right now, this could be our chance to go back and report to them. But if we get ambushed on the way there, and we don't have the City Watch backing us up, it's going to be even harder.
I agree. I don't want to leave him outside in the cold.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay.
My cat.
Yeah, your cat.
Right. Well, I guess we go ask them.
For our stuff back.
Well, we asked them for our stuff back, and then he offered to help us sneak out the back so the thieves won't track us that easily. That might give us a little bit of time. What if we go out, find Tooth, come back? But
Yes.
even if we do find Tooth, we're bringing the thing
No.
back into this. Maybe it's better that Tooth stays out of it, because they can't steal the device if they don't know where Tooth is.
Well,
Yeah, but we're
cat
all
metaphor is
custodians,
falling
and
apart,
it's not
Rio.
Just Tooth. I mean,
not
it's
so
not
loud.
just Tooth
Guy
either.
over there's
We're
gonna
all
hear
the
us.
custodians, so that would definitely not be okay with Tooth. We need to all be there.
we should be together.
Yeah.
Do you think we should just tell the City Watch about the thing and the cat? Or should we keep it a secret? Because it's going to be really hard to pull this off if we don't want to bring it here. Or if we have Tooth bring it here, then we're really putting it at risk.
Oh, I don't know.
DM is
We need to
rolling
go
dice.
find
That's a
Tooth
really
right
bad
now.
sign. We need to move.
That wasn't me. That was Brula flipping
that
a
was
coin.
Brula? Okay.
We need to go find Tooth.
I think we need to find Tooth.
All right, let's. Well, That doesn't answer my question, though, should we? Well, let's ask Tooth. Maybe Tooth has some insight. I feel like if we are going to try to fend off these thieves, and the City Watch is going to help us, we should probably make them aware of what's going on.
Yeah,
At the very least, I think the captain is telling the truth.
I do too.
I think so too.
The watch commander is... Look, he's rough around the edges, but... Look, when I was in the Fighters Guild, I had guys just like him yelling at me 24/7. It really doesn't faze me. I think he's just barking because that's what he's used to doing. I don't think he's a bad guy.
That's okay. We can bark back.
Maybe we just... Okay. All right. Well, let's go find Tooth then.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, you're heading upstairs. Yeah, you head up like 3 flights of stairs, and it's a classic medieval little turret, like you're in a corner of a castle, as it's this tight little twirling stairway up. Tooth, you get signal.
Does that mean? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. So as soon as
You
you
get
get
4 bars on your
upstairs-
phone.
Yeah. As soon as you get upstairs, then I think I only have 1 target though, right? I believe so. Then
Sorry, what did you
Rio.
say?
I was just asking how many targets I have, but I think it's only 1.
Oh,
I'm navigating, but I have claws, so it's difficult to say.
Yeah,
Look at the spell.
yeah, it's 1 target, and it's
Okay.
I'm being
And I can't
lenient, but
cast it at a higher level. It's
No.
120 feet,
yeah,
but
it's a cantrip.
yeah.
I mean,
Okay,
you
one
also
creature,
sort of
yeah, I see it.
need
Okay.
to know where they are. I don't think you have to see them, but
No,
you
I just
know
have to
where
know the person
I'm-
and kind
I'm-
of generally know what's in between us.
they are. Yeah,
It seems like, but
So you can aim it at any one of them, but yeah.
Rio, you would hear me in your head all of a sudden. Rio, 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 Rio,
What?
Rio, Rio,
I hear you,
Rio,
I hear
Rio,
you, I
Rio,
hear you,
Rio,
I hear
Rio.
you. I hear you, Tooth, Tooth, Tooth,
Oh.
Tooth,
You
Tooth.
can hear me. Oh, that's great. I've been waiting, just waiting, hoping for, you to come in range or something. I know they have like magic blocking stuff and things like that, but anyway, are you okay?
We're okay. The guards didn't want to let us go until they got the whole story of what was going on. We told them a lot, but we never told them about you. So
Okay,
they should have
I
no idea
figured.
that you're running around up there.
No one came looking for me, although I was tailing I think maybe the captain, and then he was tailing me, but he didn't know it was me he was tailing, and then I lost him. But I'm outside now, and I'm very hungry. Are you coming out soon?
Oh, right, so about that. Here's the thing. The guards have told us that the thieves that killed Alden are apparently a lot more dangerous than we realized. There's a lot of them, they're well organized, and they're not going to stop hunting us while you have that thing. So...
Oh,
They want to use us as bait to lure the thieves here, and the City Watch tries to catch them.
Ugh.
Which is a risky plan, but it's one we should consider, because if those thieves catch just the 4 of us out by ourselves, we could be in some real hot water and there'll be no one there to save the day.
Hold on. I'm analyzing the situation. So they want you to stay in here and just wait for these guys?
They think the thieves are going to come try to steal that item, or maybe spring their guy out that we caught. Either way, they think they're coming here. And if they're looking for us, then yeah. Basically,
I don't
we're the
think they-
bait.
I mean, in all the years, have they ever attacked the city guard tower? No. That's foolish.
I don't think they would attack the City Watch Tower itself. I'm
just
assuming the City
saying-
Watch is...
If you want them to maybe think they have a chance at getting you, maybe you need the city guard to dangle you a little bit, Not just leave you in a guarded tower,
Well, I was going to suggest that they let us go eat at a tavern. That's what Brula wants anyway. A nice
Shouldn't
meal,
we go
and then
talk
while we're
to the
eating...
assembly?
Yes, we should. The guard made it sound like he doesn't think we'll get that far, to be honest.
Well, that's perfect. They can just follow us to the assembly knowing that we're gonna get attacked. Well, they'll follow you to the assembly. I should probably stay hidden, huh?
Probably.
Okay. That's okay.
After all, this group of thieves knows we have the device, but they don't know which of the four of us is carrying it, so I think you should just keep staying out of sight. We just had to get up here to make sure you were okay. That was Elenis's real concern,
yeah,
was that
I'm
maybe they'd
fine.
already found you.
I was concerned you were being tortured, so that I'm glad I have some sort of, relief from that. But there's something else that's eating me just as much as the idea of you being tortured. Could you please tell Brula I'm sorry, but I ate her mud bud.
You ate her what?
Her mud bud. The bud that
mud
I got
bun?
for her. That's right. I ate it. I was so hungry.
I'll try to break it to her gently.
Yes. Tell her I'm very sorry.
I'll let them know.
Okay.
By the way, you can't reply psychically. You're whispering back. I'm assuming.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna be like, do we hear any of this?
You
Or-
hear? Sorry, I don't know if I missed PB explaining it to you, but
I don't know what spell was being cast.
it's
Message.
it's the message cantrip.
a
So you're both
message?
whispering, but you can whisper
Okay.
like 120 feet. So I mean, I know that Rio wouldn't be so stupid as to do this in front of everyone. So I would imagine that you're huddled at the top of the stairwell before you're really in any sort of room with lots of city watch, and like Rio just stops and just starts whispering. I think the two of you can figure out that he's clearly whispering to Tooth, and probably you two know Tooth a little better after the time that you've spent over the last 6 months or so. You understand that Tooth has this spell that allows you to send messages back and forth, but you do have to whisper. So that, while it was a stage whisper, was probably very quiet from
It says
Rio.
it's a whisper that only the caster can hear. So I could.
Oh, you know
whisper
what?
pretty
Maybe,
darn loud.
yeah. How does that work? Let me think about it.
I always imagined that to be like a telepathic
That's the
whisper, but if
magic.
you
Yeah,
want,
that is
they're-
just.
if you
Well,
want,
because it
if
would
you
allow
wanted to
somebody
Yes.
who could read lips to do that, and also potentially, if you're gagged, you might not be able to send a message back because you have to produce
Gotcha.
the whisper.
Yeah, I mean, it's a
Well,
full VSM
whether it's-
message, but okay, yeah. In that case, you're just sort of your lips are just moving and nothing is happening. Then, so yeah, you're
I
just
think
standing
we
there going.
recognize it.
I was
whether
gonna
it's
say,
a
let us
magic
know
whisper or
sign.
a literal whisper, either
Well,
way,
it's
I'm
not
just
sign language though.
I'm
it's just-
whispering like,
But that sometimes
I'll
means
tell
you
them,
can read
no
it.
problem. And it's really, really loud, but no one can hear it.
I like to think I'd be tapping you on the shoulder and going, "Is that Tooth? Can you say hi? Are they okay?"
Yes, it's Tooth. Yes,
Okay.
Yes, I know who I am, Rio.
everything's okay.
Okay, good. I'm glad we've been over that. Okay, so I'll just wait here. Don't worry about me. I'll get more mud butts.
Okay. Well, then I'll just relay the bulk of that to the other two. I'll
Yeah.
let them know Tooth is fine. We should go to the assembly. Maybe we could get some of the city watch to follow us to the assembly if they really think we're gonna get that jumped, or we're gonna get jumped on the way there. I don't know.
Okay. That sounds good.
Yeah,
Either
that's
way,
all good news.
Let's go get our belongings back and talk to the watch commander. Maybe we can convince him to spare some of his men to come with us. They've got a lot of tough guys in the city watch. Some of them are like former fighters guild and stuff too. A few extra bodies could make a real big difference in a fight if it comes down to it.
Absolutely.
Okay, you head upstairs.
Do you canonically tell Brula about the mud bun, or are you leaving it out?
I don't. I am concerned that Brula's mental state right now might not be able to handle it.
I kind of disagree. She's pretty hangry. If it were me, I'd be
So,
like, I was
I'm-
looking forward to that mud bun, and now it's gone. You know, like
I'm
when
gonna have
Oh,
to break
no.
it to her gently later, but right now I'm a little worried that it might just tip her over the edge.
She's too hangry.
You
Come home at the end of a long day, like you
Oh,
put in
yeah.
like a 9-hour shift,
No.
and you get home and you go for that delicious snack you've been looking forward to the whole way home, and it's gone because your roommate
Yep.
ate it,
Yeah, that's
and
nice.
just the
Gone, or you
overwhelming
ate it
urge
and
for
forgot.
murder.
exactly.
Yeah.
I said I was sorry.
You head upstairs and they lead you to the room where like the lockers and storage lockers are, and they find your stuff and they bring all of your things out and like lay them out on a table. A few minutes later, while you're like, rearming yourselves and collecting your bits, the head watchman kind of pokes his head in and says, "Well, come up with a plan?
Well, sir, with your blessing, we do want to report to the council, but if you're that confident that the Thieves Guild is going to come after us, we thought maybe it wouldn't be a bad idea for a few of your men to tail us at a distance. If a scuffle's going to break out, it'd be best that some of them are there. If we can get to the council and back, I'm still happy to help be your bait, but we do need to report to,
I agree.
we need to report
Yeah.
our orders.
Make me a persuasion check.
Sure. That is a 15.
He kind of leans in the doorway and sits for a beat and says, we can do that. We can try it, but the Thieves Guild are sneaky. They're much sneakier than my men, especially the lads that I've got on tonight. I brought in the big guns thinking that they would come here. I'll send a few.
Have they ever been dumb enough to attack the city watch, like at your stronghold? That just seems like something even they wouldn't be brazen enough to do.
Not directly, no, but they have hit prisoner transports before. They've been.
What if?
We've had a couple of theirs before. This ain't the first one of them we've managed to nab.
What if we find a nice tavern? We go there and we just sit there like we're enjoying dinner, make ourselves an obvious target. I think that would
And
get them
Brula
coming
mouths,
running
like
real
we're
quick.
enjoying dinner? We won't be enjoying dinner?
We'll actually be enjoying dinner. Yeah, you can get some
okay.
food.
Okay.
The city watch gets their suspects. We get a monkey off our back. I think it works out well for everyone.
I
Yeah.
think so.
All
You
right.
can't fight on an empty stomach. Am I right, Brula?
Oh, so right about that.
Is your plan to go to the council first? You were summoned there immediately. One of the council members is staying late.
I think you and I both know it would be unwise to keep them waiting, so we should try to get there. We go to the council, we report in, we'll move as stealthily as we can, and if we can get back here in one piece, wherever's your closest tavern, we'll just stop in for a bite to eat and make ourselves as obvious as possible there. Will that work?
Yeah. The two closest taverns are the Runestone Inn. Definitely wouldn't recommend that one. You're in enemy territory. So I'd say Dockside.
Okay.
That sounds good.
Oh, the saucy shanty.
I'll send some lads over there. I'll tell them to dress down. So you might not recognize them, but I'm sure Captain Ix, he'll be one of them. You recognize him, whoever he's sat with.
That sounds
Undercover. I like it. All right, well, we'll be off to the assembly then, and then we'll head over to Dockside and try to get a table near your boys.
Yeah. As I understand it, they tend to operate at night, but all of these gangs, they're all over the place. They ain't always dressed up like they were, you know, in the black. Sometimes they'll just pop up. They could look like anyone. They got mages. They got all sorts. Let alone the items that they've stolen. So, I'd be wary
Is
of
there
just
anything
about
you
everyone.
think we should look out for?
Everything and everyone. Honestly, with this lot. Very little they
Spirit
ain't
us out of
capable
this-
of.
Can you spirit us out of this building unseen?
Can do, but don't you want to be seen so they can follow you?
Not till after we report to the council.
They're going to still think you're in here, though. They ain't going to be watching
Let
the
them
council
think it.
chambers.
Let them think it all they want. Once we've visited the council, we can come back, make as much noise around this area as we please.
All right. Yeah, we got a back entrance that we use. I mean, who knows if they're watching that? Like I said, they could be sitting on top of the building as it is, invisible, disguised as a fucking crow. I don't know. They
Maybe
can do
it'd be
everything.
better if we went out the front door.
Well, if we go out the front door and they see us, and we try to walk all the way to the council chamber, the odds of us getting jumped out on the street are pretty high. could still do that, but then we, lose the element of surprise because they'll see the city watchman tailing us.
I won't send any to tail you. I'll just have Captain X and a few of the boys meet you at the inn. We'll call it an hour. 8 p.m.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
let's do it then.
Right.
But let's use the back door.
He turns around. He nods at a couple of other guards that are kind of waiting, and then leads you through to sort of a back area. He takes you in through a kitchen, and then there's a sort of a small warehouse at the back of this building that is just filled with varying boxes and kegs. Some of it food stuff, some of it seems to be kind of like random things and evidence and stuff like that they've pulled in. And there's
Can I
yeah.
Can I interrupt? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Before we leave, can I try and crane my neck to look? Can Brula crane her neck to look at the prisoner? The other prisoner who was coughing?
Oh, you've already left. That was like 3 basement levels down.
Never mind then.
If you want, you can. If you want, you 3 can do me a retroactive like perception check because you left the cells.
Oh, no
and
way. Okay.
I don't see why you wouldn't have had a look to see if you could.
Okay, I genuinely thought we were. Okay.
I just assumed that guy was a plant from the Thieves Guild the whole time. No perception check needed. I'm just keeping my voice down and not saying anything.
I
in
assume
front
there's
of him.
something not right about him.
Yeah, we'll just say that
didn't even think about
when you were down there, maybe you did have a look, and see if you could make out anything in that.
Perception. Okay.
I don't know what that says about the two of us that we were immediately suspicious.
I
fair.
got a
Picking it
nat
up.
20 on the perception, so if there was
Whoa.
something off about him, maybe I saw it.
I'm not even going to bother rolling.
Okay. Yeah, Brula and Rio did take a glance. With the torchlight and the angle being with the furthest along of the 20 cells, with there being 10 on either side, it's not easy to make out anyone in there. In the gloom and in the dark, he's probably laying down, and you sort of see... all you really see is a set of legs, very thin-looking legs, wearing rags, but exposed feet and ankles. What you recognize on the sort of skin of this person is that they have this thick kind of skin that is like becoming sort of chitinous, almost like a growth across the ankles and across the bottoms of the feet. Brula, you would recognize this as somebody that is suffering with at least stage 3 of the Void Blight Plague, in that they're beginning to gain a sort of a chitinous toughness over areas of their skin that at first appears as sort of a discoloration and then becomes like really tough, and then becomes like almost like a second layer of skin that's very thick and strong. A bit like a bug's carapace is the closest thing that it would maybe look like. Other than that, you don't really make out anything else of this person. But Rio, you see, I think probably the only additional thing that you would get from this is that it looks like they've probably been in there for some time. And that from the size and shape of the person and the feet, they're probably a human or an elf. Or something in there.
Okay.
I guess they could be like an Asimar or something as well, but probably one of those. No tails, so
Okay.
probably not a tiefling. But I think that's what you noticed, and then you guys left. So this was prior to you guys heading up the stairs and having the message phone call with Tooth. So you then you know the whole scene with the head watchman happens, and then you're led out through this warehouse and then out through an open doorway in the warehouse, which is guarded by 2 of those constructs. There's a large kind of warehouse double doors that could open, a huge carriage could be led in through it, but there is a small door, and they open that and let you out, and it opens up pretty much on the alleyway, like a decent sized alleyway on the back of the city watch house that is backed up onto the Tinkerer's district. It's very dimly lit and very dark, which is why as soon as you get out here you recognize there isn't really any street lamps or any street lights. Because it's so dim and dark on this side, you can kind of get out and get out into the city through this way. I don't know if you're doing anything else to help disguise yourselves, or like cloaks, or stealth up in
Rula
any
has
way?
both the cloaks wrapped around her like this.
Okay.
So probably nothing to disguise openly. If either of you ask for your cloak back, by the way, she might put up a fight.
Well, that is my cloak of protection that I'm attuned to, that you are currently holding. So I probably do want that back before we fight. But yeah, I would like to try and conceal myself, but I feel like me and Alinus both are walking in big chainmail get-ups. It's probably not easy to disguise ourselves that easily, unless the city watch has like some spare, like raggedy, I don't know, cloaks or something. Maybe, I don't know, like prisoners. Oh, right. Wait, do they have like prisoners uniforms or jumpsuits or rags that they make people wear? No, they didn't
not
take
really.
our armor from us, did they?
They probably do throw people into rags, but I think they just hope that you have that. I think you just get thrown into jail in your clothing, and then you live in it for as long as you're in the jail. This is more of a holding cell. There is like a proper city jail that is underground, that is a much larger facility for like long-term permanent stay, death row type shit. But you were in more of a temporary holding cell, even though they could probably keep you there for weeks and months and no one would blink an eye, because we're still kind of in a medieval setting here.
Yeah, I hate to break it to them, but that won't change for thousands of years. I can't think of any easy way that to disguise us unless someone else has disguised self. So I think we just
give me stealth checks
move
then.
quickly and avoid the street.
Yeah, give me stealth checks. It was just to see if you had any sort of additional things on there. If you're wearing heavy armor, you have disadvantage on stealth checks. I think the sheet does it for you, but
Yes, it highlights it.
Oh no, Rio.
all right. What did you get? Read me your numbers.
Rula got a 20.
I rolled a 6.
There's no way that I
double
rolled as high as I
19s.
did. That's not an 18.
Double 19s,
I don't know.
which turned it
How you
into
got that?
an 18.
I don't know.
Okay, let me roll a dice. Ooh, wow. Okay. It was one of the numbers that make you go, ooh, wow, on a dice that I rolled just then. But which one was it? You three head out of the City Watch house, maneuver your way around. You're kind of like the head watchman tells you to go down a tiny little alleyway at the very end that runs along the side of the actual city wall. So this whole city has an enormous wall that runs all the way around it. It is less so built for like the classic siege and war time defense in many of the areas of the city, and more just to defend against like monsters. There's creatures that are constantly like attacking things in this world. It's horrific. But there is a wall that runs all the way around the entire city, and you're able to kind of go down one of the smaller alleyways, which essentially on our map sends you down this little back part of the you came out of this little alleyway here, and then went down this alleyway here, and then made your way along this thing. Tooth, give me a perception check. Let's see if you can spot them.
Felt like I was reading your mind and rolled stealth instead. Okay, sorry, perception.
That's you hiding, but you're hidden in a bush and you've been there all day. You're probably impossible to see at this point. You've been perfected.
11.
11. You spot Rio moving out of, like it is strange. They just sort of appear out of darkness, and they're just on the street, and it's like a blink and miss it for a moment, as you're not probably expecting them to come out from one of the other doors. You probably gave this place a quick scout out, so you'd know the basic entrance ways. So they must have come out of that big back warehouse way and then run along a side alleyway. You spot Rio, and then by spotting Rio, you spot the other two as well. and they're moving away from you towards the dockside.
We're moving to the assembly, not dockside, right?
Yeah, you have to go to the dockside to go up.
I'm
So,
Right. Is it past it then?
Well, if you sort of look at the map here, if you look at the upper city part over here, these are the entranceways to the upper city, but it's not really shown here. But there is, this is a very tall gradient of jagged walkways that lead upwards to the upper city, with them being 3 here. So entrance to the upper city is pretty much exclusively from here, here, and here. So you have to go to dockside to get to the upper city, which is
Gotcha.
yeah, and then you'll come back down to just under the dockside for here. The dockside inn is the plan, at least, that they've set.
I would like to follow them, but I want to stay at a distance because I would rather see if anyone comes for them. So I'm more watching to see if anybody springs on them. So if you want to raise the DC for me being able to keep track of them, I'm doing that at risk of staying, or at the trade-off for being hidden still.
Yeah, no, you're fine. Roll me
Okay.
another with perception check.
Okay. Do you want this one at disadvantage?
Nope.
Okay. 14.
14. You follow them. They're making their way through South Wall and then to the sort of lower parts of the dockside. They get to the bridge. It really doesn't seem like anyone's tracking them at all. If they are, they're doing an unbelievable job, or they're magically enhanced in some way, invisible, something like that. You don't get the sense that they're being followed right now, though.
And how far away are they? Are they still within 120 feet?
From you, yeah, you can basically keep them as close as you want. I'm taking that 20 on the stealth that you rolled earlier on, so you can
Okay.
you're maneuvering yourself
then-
perfectly.
Then I just very quietly whisper telepathically or with magic message to Rio. All clear for now, it seems.
I whisper yell with my silent, loud whisper back and say, that's good. We're reporting to the assembly, and then we're going back to the dockside tavern. The city watch is hiding a few men there undercover, and we're going to try and
Okay.
bait the thieves into it.
Okay. I'm gonna stay here. I don't think I should go into the assembly with you. Like we talked
You're
about.
probably right.
Okay.
That's probably good. We're just
You
going to
don't
move.
have to reply back. People could see your mouth moving.
He's doing this, you know, like in movies where they hold a finger to their ear.
Yeah, I just
the Secret
just-
Service.
I just cover my face like I'm sneezing. There, now they can't see my mouth.
You're fine. Like, I mean, you're in a big city. Have you ever walked around like a huge city, New York or something, and everyone's insane? And like, if you're in New York, London, whatever, someone walking along muttering
Why
to
do you
themselves.
always leave out Toronto?
Because there are loads of big cities. I also
I know.
I left out Singapore.
Yeah, but yeah, but
It's just that, look, I have first-hand experience of New York and London pretty well, and it's because of how bizarrely similar New York and London are with this particular element that I remember it from when I was in New York. I'm sure every city is like this, but crazy people are everywhere. But when you're a tourist in that city, it's like, oh my god, that guy's doing some crazy shit. When you live there, you're like, oh, a crazy person's doing crazy shit. And you just keep going. Like, it's nothing to you. So, like, him walking along muttering under his breath isn't, like, insane. I know that you're saying it in the sense of that if you're being watched, that he's obviously looking like a Secret Service guy. But generally speaking, just for you guys in terms of your paranoia, it's very
we're
busy.
pretty paranoid.
It's a very busy
Okay.
city that you're in. So
Okay.
I'm not constantly mentioning it, but there is like endless traffic that you're moving through almost always, and it's busy 24/7. It's a very alive and cultural city, so it's awake quite late as well. So it's very, very busy at like 7-8 p.m. around the time it is now. and I don't think it's like very easy to disguise yourself casting the message spell and speaking back and forth is what I want to say to you.
But
I
more
will
importantly, how bad was it?
How bad was what? The cells?
No, Brula's reaction to the mud bun.
Oh, listen, I haven't broke it to her yet. I don't want to distress her while we're about to maybe get into a fight. I'll tell her after we get to the tavern.
Oh,
Wait, actually, I have a solution. Don't worry, just trust me.
Oh, okay. I do, but you have a lot of explaining to do. I'm just saying. Okay.
We're gonna move quickly too, because if they are stalking us again, if one guy spots us, he's probably not gonna jump us right away. He'll have to go get his buddies. They're gonna want to attack in force. Same way they did Wilden. They attack in groups. So
Okay,
if we
well,
move
if I
quickly
lose
enough,
you, where should we meet?
dockside. We're running back to
Okay.
dockside.
Okay,
Okay.
good luck.
See you soon. And I will relay the highlights once again to the other two while we're walking, still looking like a crazy person muttering, except now I'm muttering to these two. Be like, Toof is gonna wait for us at dockside, and we should just keep moving quickly. If we are being followed, I don't want to give them time to set up a proper ambush.
Okay.
Okay, so the three of you make your way up to the upper city and then through the noble quarters, past the Scholarium to the assembly and the council halls. When you arrive, there are two different guards because it's the night shift at this point. You see a gnome wearing the City Watch outfit and a pretty tall looking human. He's probably like 6'5", very, very thin. And it's almost comical as you come up to see these two guards, like this very short looking like 3'5" gnome and then a 6'5" human. In the City
Literally
Watch
just
guard,
me and Brula.
with each one of them has a Vianthracite enhanced spear, and they're standing at the sort of entrance to the council halls here. As you approach, this very tall looking guard says, "Stop. You have business with the council halls?"
One of the councilmen sent for us, but they didn't say which one.
Name?
Rio Sinclair, Alinus Grace, Brula Yurno. They might have used our registered group name, the Cool Kids.
The gnome looks up and says,
The cool kids. Are you guys serious?
It wasn't my idea.
the taller one looks down at the gnome and the gnome looks up to the taller one and the gnome says,
I'll take a look and see what's on our books.
he goes into the little room. A few moments pass and he comes back out and says,
Yes, they are allowed in, but they need an escort, so I will go and fetch one.
he turns around and heads in. The taller one says, a moment if you wouldn't mind. I need one of you to roll me a d10, please. Whoever wants to do it.
He wants to
Oh
volunteer.
boy. I nominate Psyche because she's been on fire
No,
with the
okay. Deal. Okay.
Psyche's turn.
Okay, let's go. That's a 4.
Or 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh.
Interesting. Okay.
What does that mean?
What does it
Means
mean?
he's setting up a battle map with 4 enemies on it.
That's what I was wondering. I think I have to take an anti-acid. This episode has been very
No, that was literally, I left it completely to chance as to which council member is available right
Oh.
now.
Oh,
okay.
okay.
And
Which one stayed late?
which one stayed late. The gnome returns with the little bloomborn that you recognized from earlier on, Joe, with his kind of
Joe.
wide hat and his big purple eyes. And Joe comes sort of wandering over, moving from side to side. He goes, "Hi, you're here to see council member 12 gold pieces, right?
Yes.
The cool kids.
That's us?
Yeah.
That's
I
us.
have 4 members registered.
Our 4th member is preoccupied at the moment.
All right, follow me. Over here is the council halls. Sometimes the assembly meets on the right. We're going to be heading down into the 12 gold pieces personal area. And then he kind of leads you off. He takes you to a different place, though. And he takes you in through these halls. He's still listing off varying things to you as he's moving through the halls. It's much quieter. There's way less people kind of working. It seems like predominantly a lot of the people that work here have gone home or left for the evening. So Joe's voice is just echoing off of the walls as he's leading you through the different places. And he says, we're actually going to be taking you to the minting office. That's where they make actual coins. 12 gold pieces lights it in there. And he leads you down through the council halls and then into a very small office compared to some of the other much larger offices, and as well the enormous council chamber that you met with them in before, and then raps on the door. There is the cool kids here to for their meeting, and you hear from the other side, yes, come in. Joe says, is there anything else I can get for you?
A mud bun.
One mud bun.
And you see Brula look at Rio as if, like, the most special thing has just taken place. Like, how did you know?
Is there anything else I can get for you?
No, I think that's it.
I will inquire with the kitchens. And then he kind of waddles off. Yeah, the door doesn't open, but you hear, like, come in from the other side. You guys going in?
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, well, I think we all go in.
One of you cracks open the door. As you open the door, who wants to roll me this next? Nice. This one you need an antacid for. Let's see what number you need to roll me. It is a D10, please.
Okay.
Why is there battle music? 9.
A
Is that
9.
good? Uh-huh.
Tooth, where are you?
I'm outside.
Outside of the council chambers, like you followed everyone up and you found a little area to hide in.
Yes.
No, you said
Wait.
you were staying
I'm
back
not going
near
inside.
dockside.
I'm like outside. No, I tried to follow you guys, and if I lost sight of you, I was gonna meet you back at the dockside. But I'm outside the
okay.
assembly. I didn't go inside.
Yeah,
I'm
Tooth
sorry.
trailed you
I
the
know
whole
that's
way.
terrible.
In
Yeah.
your... Where is the lost second right now?
With me.
You
No!
sense it activate.
Wait, what?
There is like a rumbling, like a vibration coming from wherever it is in one of the packs or whatever you've got it wrapped in. The bag.
I start shouting to Rio, but I don't know if he can hear me because I don't know if... Oh no, something's happening. Oh,
Come on in.
not right now.
The three of you can take seats here. This is the minting office, but we can all fit.
No, oh no.
Okay.
I'm imagining with how long this tour went on that message is just hitting nothing.
Yeah, it's technically 1 foot of anything would block it, so I imagine they would put the whole council in around that so that people couldn't do that. But I'm panicking and I'm grabbing at my bag. Shh! And I'm telling the lost second to be quiet, not now.
Well, counselor.
Roll me another D10 too. The counselor, the little Gesto, he's kind of wearing a slightly different set of robes that he was wearing than the set he was wearing earlier on in the day. You're in a very small looking office room, and on the walls are just multiple different versions of different types of coins. An 8 you rolled.
Yes, I'm slowly counting down. It's terrible.
The lost second does seem to deactivate.
Thank you.
That boom
Very
activates.
Boom activates. But that, I think Brula has that, right? Who has that?
Yeah.
Brula, you have to be
Yeah.
very quiet. We're waiting for them, okay?
The councilman
Rio,
leads you
everything's
into the office here, and the yeah, it's a small office, 2 desks, with a few sort of like chairs just sort of scattered around. It doesn't look like it's set for meetings or anything. There are just lots of different coins, lots of different books, bookshelves, and it's quite cramped with all of you guys in there because of you're all carrying stuff and you're particularly large, especially compared to 12 gold pieces. 12 gold pieces kind of curls his fingers as you each walk in, and he says,
So, it seems we have much to discuss.
That we do, Counselor.
Where is
We,
Tooth?
Tooth is keeping an eye on the object, out of sight.
Understood. Very well. Close that door if you don't mind.
Brulu
I'll,
closes
I'll,
it.
cl- I'll stand by the door. I'll not take a seat.
12 gold pieces, kind of looks across each of you and says,
Okay. Start from the beginning.
and that is where we'll end today's session.
I just picked up my hammer.
Every now and then, I'm going to have you roll to determine whether you get fucking sent into
Yeeted
the
back.
future.
Oh my god! Because I was like, oh, is it? Do we go forward but only for so long and then we get yeeted back? I just like wasn't sure what was happening. I was
You can
fully
never go back,
panicked.
Charlie.
I had to
You can never
stand
go
up
back.
and start pacing, even though when I sit down, I have it set so that my camera's slightly higher so that I look, a little bit shorter. And I'm like, I have to be up and pacing around. That was so anxious. I'm
I
sweating.
sent
That was
Spaz a
so
message
good,
saying my
Brad.
shoulders are so sore because I'm so
Yeah.
tense.
Yeah, that was crazy. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're fine.
I was waiting for him to send you into the future, and then the rest of us had to do a whole fight, and you just pop up after them.
And then I just pop up at the end. I'm like, I'm
Could still
Hero from
happen.
Heroes, and I just show up
Just
with a
have
scar.
like a massive beard somehow or
can't
something.
No, like the other way around. Like Tooth would just miss it. Then you find the three of us like all beat up and a bunch of
Yeah, they'd all be
no.
old.
knocked out assassins, and
We
you
gotta
missed it
go
because you
back,
got launched
Brilla.
forward.
We gotta go back.
Go back.
All right, we're gonna get out of here and record a green room, which is available on our membership page, tablestory.tv/merch. You can become a member. There's other things and stuff on there as well, including our updated merchandise T-shirt, which looks like this. Which has the Cool Kids Forever on it. If you want to support the Cool Kids,
I
become
got
one of
mine
the
the
cool
other day.
kids. Did you really?
I did. I
She
wore
was
it
wearing it today.
Oh, you? God damn it.
know.
Did I raid you as well? I feel like I did.
You did, and I
didn't
was
say.
holding it up and going, "Look, Brad,
Oh,
I
you
got my
did.
T-shirt."
I think I immediately went and got food. You know when you like raid and you're like,
Fair.
I should
Yeah.
stay here, but if I don't eat within 3
Yeah.
seconds, I'm going to die.
Like Brula today.
Yeah, I was Brula at the end of my stream. So yeah, if you want to catch our green rooms, it's where we do a little post-show chat, a bit like this basically, but for a little bit longer. And we also have other episodes up there. Just a quick announcement: we also have a brand new show that started last night called Legends of Oscara, which is also set in this same world. I believe it is set in the same year currently.
What do you mean currently?
But it's set on a different continent known as Oscara, which is north of Vayfall, which is what this island is. So if you want to see something else set in the world of Solmira, which is a setting that's being created by me and PB and Wax Steven, we've all been making this setting together, with this being kind of my little corner, and Wack has a corner, and PB's got some stuff going on here and there, and we've all got other bits that we've been working on together. Then there's another show that just started last night on Tablestory, Legends of Oscara, so you can go and watch episode 1 of that if you would like. That's available on YouTube and on all of the varying podcast things, as well as this. I'm sure you'll find all the links in places, and until next week.
Oh, there's also the Saturday show.
Yeah,
you
we
should
also
watch,
have
which
another
started this
show on
weekend, too.
Saturday. God damn it, there's so much going on.
I
We
know.
have another show called Song of Heroes. I'm in that. as an actual player for once.
He's
That's
playing a
bizarre.
mouse.
I'm playing a mouse called Brother Crisps.
Cute.
I'm also playing a healer. I have no damage output, which is something I've never done in my entire life, ever. And it's
My
hard.
favorite
It's hard
part
to
was
do.
coming to your stream the next day and Brad saying, I don't know how people play support. What do you do?
I don't know. You can do it. My God. Even when I play stuff like League, sometimes I'll play League and I'll play Vel'Koz support so that halfway through the game I can just abandon my AD carry and become a roaming second mid. Because I can't take it. I can't take it. When I just wait for the AD to get strong enough and I fuck off. I'm bad. I'm bad support. Anyway, I'm playing support on Saturday, so you can come and watch that. It's really cool. And we have another show called Dumb on Wednesdays. That's run by PB. And we have our Friday show, which is kind of technically set in this thing as well. It's Defend the Gates at the moment. So a lot going on. Shows every single bloody night almost. If you don't want to watch any of those, we'll see you here next week for another episode of The Lost Second. Thanks so much for hanging out. Everyone say bye, quick, because I'm running the credits now.
Bye, quick, because I'm running the credits.
Bye, quick. I wasn't running credits.
Bye, quick, because I'm running the credits now.
As long as I start to care.